have broken down. One of the issues within those negotiations is the AutoGate system that union leaders say is an attempt to eliminate humans and replace them with automated technology. The president of the International Longshoremen's Association says the use of the AutoGate system is a clear violation of a previous contract. That current contract ends this coming September. It will affect 45,000 union workers who are part of the ILA. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Some of the greatest blessings is just having people that care about you, to have someone that's just going to love you and make you feel important. They encourage you to be in church. They encourage you to be in prayer. They encourage you to be in your Bible. Now it's a part of my day every day. My house parents planted seeds in me that you can see where those seeds have sprouted in my life and helped change my life.
Big Oak Ranch, a Christian home for children needing a chance.
A judge has given a man 8 consecutive life sentences for the 2022 kidnapping and abuse of 2 teenage girls. The victims were taken at gunpoint from Prattville and did survive the crime. This past April, Michael Butler of Greenville pleaded guilty to kidnapping, rape, sodomy, robbery, and sexual torture. Watauga County Circuit Judge Joy Booth sentenced Butler this week. Butler also has a criminal history out of the Atlanta area. A groundbreaking ceremony was held this past Thursday in Birmingham on a $330 million Coca-Cola facility that is going to be operating in the Kingston community. The facility will employ about 800 workers once it's operational. The new facility is located on 100 acres near Interstate 2059 and should be completed sometime in 2027. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage.
And I'm Madeline Cannon. It's true, rates aren't as low as they have been for the past couple of years, but there are still many homeowners that could benefit from refinancing their current mortgage. There are a lot of things in life that are out of our control, but your mortgage rate is not one of them. If you currently have an adjustable rate mortgage, then you owe it to yourself to give us a call.
Adjustable rate mortgages make sense for some people in stable markets, but in this wild, ever-changing rate environment, it only makes sense to secure a fixed interest rate. A fixed interest rate will give you the peace of mind that your rate is locked. Your rate will not be subject to change with the political and economic tides.
At Alabama Home Mortgage, you can personalize your term. We offer 8-year to 30-year mortgages and everything in between. Grab your mortgage statement and give us a call.
Call Alabama Home Mortgage, the #1 mortgage lender in Alabama, today at 567-4223, or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. That's Alabama Home Mortgage, because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36A, Equal Housing Lender.
Hi, I'm Ray Bowles from Prattville Carpet. If you're looking for waterproof carpet, hardwood, laminate, vinyl plank, or ceramic tile, call us today for your free measurement.
Prattville Carpet is a family-owned flooring store that prides itself on personal service, quality products, and guaranteed installation. From beautiful hardwood floors to luxurious smart strand carpet, Prattville Carpet has you covered. Call, come by, or online at prattvillecarpet.com.
Prattville Carpet, we're more than just carpet.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Hey, mister, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a feller in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his can. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into News and Views in the afternoon, as we're calling this thing online. Whatever this show is, Joey Clark Live. You can always go on YouTube or Twitter X or even Facebook, though, just to reiterate, Facebook sucks. It sucks so much. And joining me this Friday, we have Eddie Bader and we have Craig Munger of 1819 News. How you gentlemen doing?
Nah.
Eddie's in a bad mood.
It was a good day until an hour or so ago.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't talk about it. It's
Try
like
not to. It's all I can do not to.
It's like business stuff.
Like you're all the way over there, and I just wanna hug you.
I could use a hug. I ain't
Could
gonna
use a
lie.
hug?
I could use a hug.
you could scooch a little bit just so y'all's auras touch.
No, well, here I'm just here. Let me do what the white girls do on Twitter and just send you positive vibes.
Oh, I'm feeling them.
You feeling them?
I'm feeling them.
Yeah. If I was closer, you'd really be feeling them.
I'm feeling a little better. I got
Yeah, you got to snap too, and that helps with the seance. Oh, by the way, did you see that the new Star Wars
Oh my
series?
God.
I'm not watching it.
Yeah.
But on Twitter, somebody posted a clip and said there are a group of lesbian witches who get pregnant by appealing to the Force.
What?
Yeah, and they wonder why their numbers are going down.
Isn't that what like fat obnoxious girls do now with like certain implantation procedures?
I have no idea
But do
what
they
you're
call
talking.
it the Force?
They just buy some guy who otherwise couldn't stand their presence. They buy their
Oh,
essence.
I was worried you're going more like the cooking section of the grocery store.
Well, they
like
spend plenty of time there too. But
I meant like a turkey-based.
turkey-based. I
right?
gotcha. Yeah. I think it's a bit more scientific when you get it from like a sperm bank. Or
Yeah,
something.
no, and then in vitro's a thing.
Yeah.
And both senators signed a letter, by the way, Tuberville and Brett, say, hey, we it should be available. I'm using Tuberville. It should be available all over the country. That's right, Coach. It should be available. Yeah. So,
I mean, they have a point with the Democrats sort of blocking legitimate efforts because they want
Right.
they want reproductive rights, quote unquote, to be a focal point of the upcoming election, and so they're engaging in dishonest tactics. But I myself am very critical of IVF, so I don't share their ebullience and.
So, with everything going on in the world today, I do, because I was all alone yesterday when I interviewed Mayor Stephen Reed.
Unfortunately.
And I think both of y'all were listening or watched. So I would love an outsider's take on how that interview went. And I'll say myself, I was trying to hit every angle of being respectful at the same time. And dadgum, he did not want to get into a lot of detail.
No, that it was pretty clear whenever you first asked about Chief Albert, and then he goes, "Are we talking about crime? Or are we talking about personnel?"
And I'm
like, "Oh, yeah, because the status of the police chief has nothing to do with crime, dum. Like, what? It's the most. Is the see? That's the kind of crap that works with the people that actually cast a vote for you.
Right.
It doesn't work with people that have a functioning brain. And then, of course, you would try to get into other details. And listen, Joey, I love you to death. And if you were as disagreeable as me, you wouldn't have a radio show. So I'm not expecting you to be me. So this isn't a criticism of you, but I would have desperately loved to have been sitting in this seat just to be like. And even when you tried to talk about the lack of issues that the Montgomery sheriff is having, Cunningham. He's having. He goes, well, sheriff and police chief are different. Oh, really?
Yeah.
You can literally everything is different from everything else. By the way, Mayor, if you want to tout a $6 million a year gun crime prevention program, and you boast about the success in Baltimore and in Oakland. It's like, well, all I can say is, well, Montgomery's not Oakland. Boom, you don't have an argument. Buy $6 million. It's a stupid thing to say when you just say that X is different from Y, therefore your analysis is irrelevant.
Well, and if I was, say, on the council, I'd be like, well, let's get the officer force levels up first, then I'll talk to you about it.
Yeah, and speaking of which, the absolute banal gobbledygook of you asking how
Eddie's
many...
already feeling better, by the way.
Of how many police we have, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want to let the bad guys know that we're up to."
They already know,
dude. They already know.
They know.
So we got 100-person range, so from like 220 to like it's somewhere in between there, right?
Well, right after Chief Albert died. Excuse me. Wow. Hello.
His career died.
Pardon me.
After
That
his
was
career.
a slip. He is alive and well, as far as I know. But when Chief Albert resigned, I was there. I watched him. I physically watched his lips move when he was asked how many we have, and he said 293. That was the number that he gave. So he was letting the bad guys know then. I don't know. But what was the number that he said that he was south of?
320 something.
Yeah, he's south of that for sure.
Pretty south of that. And what number was he like insulted?
220, which I got from David Thrasher's been blasting his emails out. Everybody's been reading them.
Thrasher's pretty close.
And then I've also heard 239. I mean, it's not exactly clear because people don't trust the official number.
220, 250. I put my money in that. Between
You
them.
had to say it that way.
Well, again, it's like this is the type of things that transparency helps. And
It does, doesn't it?
they give so many numbers. The city does that just aren't true.
Yeah, but they, like you said, they have no one to really challenge them. And then when you do challenge them, racist.
Yeah. Well, I mean that's that they haven't levied that. Murder is the accusation
Oh, that's right.
that Stephen Reed has levied against myself.
Yeah, I forgot that one.
But yeah, so he has plenty of stuff to work with there. But the fact remains, yeah, it's like these. I got to talk to, by the way, an actual expert the other day, which I don't know. Had you read any of John?
I
Lott's
read it
books?
before he showed up on the show.
Okay, all right.
And I also read about Operation Ceasefire in Oakland.
Yeah.
Which that one, when I looked at it, I'm like, that kind of makes sense. Oh, by the way, they sort of dropped the ball on it starting in 2020, and
Yeah.
numbers have gone back up in terms of homicide. But
Yeah.
the idea that you intervene with actual gang members, try to get them not to be violent, leave the gang, or if they don't, we have police that can take on the gangs.
Yeah.
That's not a bad idea.
Yeah,
So I read that and your interview with John Lott.
Well, it was unfortunate because the piece was already too long. I wish it could have included it. That Lott actually talked about there are some pretty effective violence prevention programs, typically having to do with citizen action.
Okay.
And so he didn't get into too much detail, but I sort of asked him about it, and he said, yeah, there's people that start like some sort of patrol, an armed patrol of their own neighborhoods. Those have been very effective.
Yeah.
But again, that's not what Stephen Reed wants. And again, I swear, this is why I wish I was in this seat. Whenever he brought up assault weapons as like being a problem, and then he was like, well, it's also constitutional carry. Well, which one is it? Because that one has nothing to do with the other. And by the way, it isn't the vast majority of murders that have happened in this city and everywhere else, by the way, have happened with handguns. They don't happen with quote unquote assault weapons, which is a definition that is meaningless.
Right.
An assault weapon is a meaningless term.
Well, I have a plan, and hopefully Kevin Murphy should have a number on how many they actually got when they had the permitting. Like when they stopped somebody had a permit.
Right.
He's going to, I think, find that number. And I generally want to have a discussion with Kevin on Monday at noon, folks. About how are guns seized off the streets, illegal guns?
Yeah.
Like, what's the process there?
But that was the frustrating thing about the criticism of constitutional carry, because you created a crime, which is carrying a pistol without a permit,
right?
And then you're mad that they got rid of that criminal statute, and so it's like, well, now we can't enforce it. Well, because you invented a crime.
Right.
Carrying a pistol without a permit is an invented crime. You made it so. So we remove that restriction, and you're saying, oh, well, if that's the case, just make more crimes. Make it to where it's illegal to have, I don't know, to chew bubble gum on Tuesdays, and we can search them. That gives us a tool. That's the line you always hear is, oh, it was just another tool for us to maybe get guns off the street. It's like, well, just create more gratuitous tools.
And also, if you don't have the force levels to actually enforce any of this stuff.
Yeah, it's like that
Like,
jackass
it's a
that
moot
called
point.
in last week. It was just like, I talked to a cop, and there was people sitting in their car with an AR-15, and he just let him go because he knew he was outgunned. Okay, sounds like A, you were kind of a puss, or B, you were too dumb to not call for backup, or C, guess what? It's not illegal to ride around with an AR-15. I do it every day of my life.
Yeah, so it's fun in Montgomery, I suppose.
Yeah,
folks.
sorry, dude. You did it. It was actually a great interview because you actually let him talk, and whenever he's on other channels, it can actually get annoying because he doesn't. People try to interrupt him to do the confrontational thing, but honestly, whenever he talks long enough and tries to give a justification, he hangs himself sufficiently. There's no need to go after him.
Well, and it's up to the public and up to people to make up their own minds. That's why I do interviews that way.
I agree. You did a fantastic job. He didn't. You did.
And so you feeling better, Eddie?
I was.
You were? Not anymore?
You were feeling better?
Yeah.
Who could I make fun, who could I make fun of to make you happy today?
Yeah, nothing. Me.
Hey, we didn't get to this last week. Tell the story about how you were accidentally eating a high caloric diet when you didn't know it.
No, so there, dude. Wow.
See,
my
making them happy.
No. So
I'm Three Stooges humor guy.
So my diet finished, and I was stupid lean, starving to death essentially. Striated from head to toe. It was a great look, but I was starving. So it was time to reverse out, and that's important because if you If you go too heavy out of the gate, then in my case especially, I'm essentially a water balloon.
All right.
Then I'll just start holding a whole lot of water from the excess carbs. I look like garbage. Like literally 2 days later after my diet, I had complete crisp cut-in abs.
Okay.
2 days later, couldn't see nothing from all the water I was holding.
Really?
It was bad. It was bad. And I was curious. I'm like, where does all this water come from? Like I'm counting my calories pretty sufficiently, and I realized I'd started eating this peanut butter called Professor Nuts. That the nutrition label,
Oh, Professor Nuts.
Professor
Yeah.
Nuts, the nutrition
Sounds legit.
label said it was 28 calories a serving.
In the big print.
Yeah, in the big print. And then I was trying to. That was the only variable because I was eating pretty much the same food, but I was just like really craving a lot of peanut butter, and I found this, and I thought it was great. Well, it turns out these unscrupulous toads, these vile vermin I don't know how they can even do this legally, put I can't remember the term. It was digestibility. That's it. Digestibility corrected macros on the thing. And they said, well, hey, we've just figured out a way so your body doesn't absorb the fat and the carbs from this, so we can put the corrected macros on this. And literally the only thing they did was add corn fiber. It's like, so if that's all I need to do is just eat some corn fiber, and I can go and eat Burger King every day, and I just don't digest the fat and carbs. That doesn't make sense. So I was eating an extra 2,400 calories a day.
Extra?
Extra. Past my maintenance.
I was waiting for the punchline. Like, how much
Past my
more?
maintenance. I gained 14 pounds in 2 days. Now it's all water. But I'm sitting there just wondering, I'm looking at myself in the mirror and the visuals are just gone. I'm like, what in the is going I can't be like, because I'm really bad with my aldosterone system is all funky. I have to be very
I don't even know
careful.
what that is.
Well, it's the
You don't have to explain.
renal aldosterone. It's essentially your electrolyte balance is regulated by the kidneys. You'll recall actually the doctors thought I had some sort of kidney
Right.
issue
Oh, yeah.
because of the water, because of my body's propensity to hold water.
So you would advise people to be wary of Professor Nuts.
Don't buy Professor Nuts, and in
Good
fact,
Lord.
send them so many emails. Call them the worst names you can imagine. Google, if you can't think of good insults, Google them and include them in your emails because they are unscrupulous and evil, and they ruined my abs, which is just, as far as I'm concerned, a war crime. So I believe it or not, that was a week ago, and I'm still trying to sort of shed some of the water.
Well, and
You know, Joey, we have a friend of our life that's losing weight rapidly.
yeah,
And, you know, you've kind of become the heavy guy in the studio.
no, I'm losing weight pretty
I know
well.
you are, but you're still the heavy guy in the studio. So I wouldn't want you to get
I'd say
this
15
particular
pounds
guy.
in a month is pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Still a heavy guy in the studio. Anyway, I wouldn't want you to get this peanut butter.
I
or
got
this
your
other-
heavy right here. All right.
I don't want you to buy Greg that peanut butter and wreck his diet.
No, I'm
To slow him down, and
This
all
is
of a sudden
not
you
like a
take
scene
over.
out of Mean Girls. Like, I'm not going to be catty like, you know, women.
It's a great reference, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, actually, I like that movie. The original one, at least.
Have you seen the new one?
No.
I haven't either.
Yeah, I don't want to watch any of these remakes because the remakes are almost always awful.
Yeah.
Any
Yeah.
movie.
It's
Almost
like-
always.
It's like
The exception, I guess, of Dune.
Dune is good, but can you imagine a movie about high school politics made in 2024? Can you imagine?
that'd be bad.
Like in Mean Girls, it was like golfs and jocks and your traditional high school breakups. Now it's going to be like, you know, the non-binary they them table, then the furry table, then the possible school shooter table. It's like I can't imagine that it would be much fun to watch.
Now, with all the discussion, of course, about crime in Montgomery, and people continue to bring up gun laws, the Supreme Court today, Supreme Court of the United States just ruled the bump stock ban that actually Trump's ATF put in place is unconstitutional.
Mm-hmm.
For those who don't know what a bump stock is, could you explain it?
Yeah, sure. It looks a bit like a traditional stock that goes into the pistol grip, and the only difference is it allows the free motion of the lower and upper receivers to reciprocate inside of the stock instead of being one solid motion.
Okay.
So when the recoil, when you're gripping the weapon, and you shoot, instead of having to reset it by releasing your finger and firing off another shot, it recoils inside the stock, taking your finger off of it automatically, and just your grip on the firearm forces it forward and forces the other shot. So when done in real time, it just simply looks like someone's shooting an automatic weapon.
That's an excellent explanation. That's really good.
Oh, thank you.
That's really good.
Could you explain it?
Not as good as he just did.
No,
mine would be a lot more. How
makes you shoot faster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's how Eddie would have.
They're novelties. They have no practical application outside.
And imagine, would they jam or did
No, it's not
crappy
jam.
ammo.
It's just accuracy that's going to be
Okay.
the main thing affected, because you have an unstable shooting platform now.
Right.
Allegedly, the Las Vegas shooter used one, and
It's not that.
I
That's
don't want to.
that whole thing. Yeah.
That story is. I'm not usually the conspiracy guy. That story makes
Got
me
a
go
lot,
full
yeah.
Alex Jones.
Yeah,
They
it
really
does.
had Saudi prince in town. And all
Yeah,
that kind
and
of thing.
500 people dead. Like
Yeah.
no explanation. Clear. They kept changing the timeline officially.
And I'm sorry, I know what an AR-15 sounds like when it's being fired from a great distance, and I know what like a decent machine gun, because an AR-15 is not a machine gun, what one sounds like. Yeah, it sounded like the latter. And by the way, many weapons experts, most notably Tim Kennedy, I don't know if you know who he is.
Oh, yeah.
He made the same observation. He's like, he's way more of an expert than I am. He's been shot at by a lot of different things. He's like, I know what X sounds like, and it was X. It was a machine gun.
So I guess the Supreme Court doing that, but then also the Supreme Court, I guess yesterday, said the mail order abortion bills are still allowable.
Yeah.
So it's a mixed bag with the Supreme Court.
Get that, but
It is a mixed bag, and so you kind of the freaking argument that it's just some Republican right wing court is just gone.
Actually, a lot of the decisions have been a mix. The majority has been a mix of the liberal and conservatives on the court.
Yeah, and even their most conservative rulings haven't been split directly along Republican and Democrat lines. There's been a lot of crossover.
Right. So, but I mean, the Supreme Court is a threat. It'll be fascinating because I think they came out with 3 rulings today. The only real big news headline was the bump stock one. They're still yet to decide this massive case with the Chevron doctrine.
Right.
It has to do with some fishing companies that had some new regulations put on them. They're like, Congress didn't allow you to do that, didn't give you the authority to put these new regs on. And so we're up at the court, and this could be huge. Just a fight over what fishing companies have to do could turn into, hey, a lot of these administrative agencies within the federal government do not have the authority to constantly, pester you and essentially control your life without express authority from Congress. I think that's actually how the Constitution was meant to work.
Yep.
So we'll see what the court comes up with there. Are we happy that it's Flag Day?
it was bigger when I was in junior high and elementary school. And we had the whole ceremony, and we got to go outside and skip class for a little while. But
You like the skipping of the class?
Yeah, it was kind of cool.
Considering that we're in Pride Month, I honestly saw that on my calendar and just instinctively removed the L.
Yeah, well, I mean, there it is.
Yeah, that was a very well crafted joke.
Yeah,
and your desire not to get canceled, those sensibilities, they interfered with you guffawing.
No, I was more like I thought everybody saw it. It didn't even need to be said. But also weird stuff today. It's Friday, so it's Flag Day. It's also Donald Trump's birthday.
Oh, that's right. It's Trump's first birthday.
Yeah, so you're excited about that more than Flag Day.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because I know
you
want to
sing him.
No, I know he's going to
Happy
say
birthday?
something over the top today because it's his birthday.
Happy birthday to me.
Exactly. Exactly.
Well, I actually have another out of context Trump clip where we take just a few seconds of Trump during one of his rallies and we play it. And a lot of folks who are anti-Trump are sharing this going, oh, how could you ever vote for this man? And it's like, maybe he's entertaining and making me laugh, you dopes. Remove the stick from your butts.
Please already.
But and also, see, when we play this, we get it from both sides. We get it from the folks who hate Trump. They're like, see, how could you ever vote for him? And then you get from the folks who have loved Trump since the beginning. It's like, how could you even laugh at? Like, this is objectively funny.
They get themselves all lathered up, man.
This is objectively funny.
By the way, the pause right there is a Photoshop expert's just wet dream.
That's what I mean. That is hysterically funny, just the still. But
You know he's fixing to break into
this
dance.
is only 13 seconds of a Trump rally there in Houston.
You can do it, baby. I love you so much. And it's bad news. Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry.
Leaked Stormy Daniels testimony.
No, and Trump seems to be having more fun because he did that like face off with Logan Paul.
Oh, that was pretty good.
And did a whole podcast, came out last night, and then Trump was up there on Capitol Hill, where the insurrection happened.
Yeah.
And he was like, apparently, according to behind the scenes reports, he was playing along. He was like, actually, we've had our differences, but I love everybody in here, and we're going to make the country great again. And he's got this weird, silly, conciliatory tone half the time.
Riding on that high, I think he feels very confident right now.
You can do it, baby.
He got like $100 million after the
Yeah,
donations.
another big donor.
Oh, yeah.
I think another big donor stepped up and gave him a chunk of change. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
All
he's
is looking good.
he's a happy camper.
That's right.
And then he also yesterday, Trump proposed eliminating all income taxes and replacing it with tariffs, kind of like it used to be in this country. Now, the libertarian says, can we get rid of the tariffs and the income tax?
Well, let's do one at a time.
But there was a long time where the federal government was mostly funded in this country by the tariffs. There was no income tax.
Now, you're going to know better than me, but what's the downside of that?
Oh, the downside is it's controlling and going to up cost on all sorts of certain products and industries.
Do I get out of the tax thing?
Yes, I
Make
think
it so.
it might not be like the
Make it
government
so.
takes in less or more money. The actual amount of money revenue being brought in aside, because honestly, the way they shift around the tax code, it's actually historically been around 18% and it stays there of gross domestic product. But what it will remove is the IRS up your backside.
Make it so.
You wouldn't have to report income.
It's a scam anyway. It's a
And
scam.
so this would affect actually more businesses. So people, only the people, local taxes would probably be a thing and whatnot. But
I get that. Yeah.
you would not have to deal with the federal income tax whatsoever. And most of that would be handled on the business side, especially, when businesses are buying things overseas. I mean, they're going to be affected by the tariff. And a tariff isn't, Trump keeps saying, well, and I took a lot of money out of China. He's a good guy, smart guy. They get on me because I say he's a smart guy, but he runs 1.4 billion people. So, he's smart. Oh, okay, he said he's smart. But I took billions and billions from China. I took billions. And it's like, no, you taxed Americans who are buying stuff from China.
Yeah.
Excuse me, pardon me. Now, you might be able to make the argument for, say, security reasons that we shouldn't be getting our steel resources from China. We shouldn't be getting pharmaceuticals from China.
Agreed.
We shouldn't be even relying on semiconductors in Taiwan and South Korea. That a lot of this stuff should be here. Why are we offshoring this? But I would take that if the trade is simply eliminate the income tax, we're increasing tariffs. I'd take that trade all day. I'd take that deal.
Would. But do you trust your politicians to be able to pull that off?
Well, you would have to repeal, the 16th Amendment?
My worry is they would do a split of both.
Yeah.
And then eventually, they're getting all the money again.
Right.
Anything that means that there are less or fewer IRS agents.
Yes, I'm all about that.
Good.
Baby, I love you so much. And it's bad news. Bad things are happening. Mom, I'm sorry.
What the heck is he doing there? I love Trump out of context. It just makes me happy. Before we hit a break, let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joey, it's TS.
Hey, TS.
You guys are cracking me up.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm giving you homework like I gave to Scott Beeson.
All right.
Hang on. Let me think of the guy's name. Something Bailey. Daryl Bailey.
District attorney.
Yeah.
Uh-huh. You need to do your homework, and I'll be calling back on Monday because he is part of the issue with the MPD.
Anything other than his name?
I can't disclose anything right now.
I can
But
assure you there's no information that you have that will be news to most of the people in this room.
Okay, well, that's great, but we need to let the other people know, Craig, about the issue.
But they just have to wait till Monday?
I can't bring it up today because I've got to be spot on and have all my notes written down where I don't look like an ignoramus retired teacher that just is getting recertified.
You know, TS, and I'm actually going to be asking everybody, those who calls in now, as well as everybody in the studio, you know the little golf tee game at Cracker Barrel? How far could you get in that?
To one.
That's what I thought. I believed in you, and you
Is that
pulled it off.
bad?
No, that's very, very good.
I can't get to none, but I can get to one.
That's an
do you know how to
impossibility.
play? Hey, do you know how to play beer pong?
Sure.
Does a fat baby fart?
You really do? No, seriously?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
It's
54.
fun. I don't know how to play it. I just like to watch people play beer pong. I'd never known until I went to some of my military neighbors' house for a party.
I mean,
and
I
I'm
haven't
like,
played
"What?"
beer pong since I was in college, but
Well, I'm just sorry, Joey, but it's very entertaining.
it is. Yeah, it's a good time. It's a gross way to drink beer.
Coming to a school near you.
Well, no, they weren't drinking beer. They were just doing that pong thing.
Mom, I'm sorry.
What? I love you guys, but
Love you
we'll
too,
pick it up
TS.
on Monday.
All right,
we'll see you.
And just TS, is that short for tease? Like, what is this? What about Daryl Bailey? Anyway.
I mean, I again, it's so frustrating to me. Like, because I have to deal with this constantly as a journalist when people call me up and be like, I have information to give you.
Right.
I operate under the labor of something called proof. And there's like, it's pretty difficult being like, I heard Daryl Bailey was doing seances, in a
He was in the new Star Wars
in a
series.
Skull and Bones. He was mud wrestling naked with men in a Skull and Bones initiation. It's like, and your evidence of this, I read it on a blog.
Yeah. You got to watch out. Occasionally the blogs get something, but not often.
Not often.
Well, we got to hit this break, but first, this part of the program brought to you by River Region Contracting. And there at River Region Contracting, Todd Clark and his team are ready to help you with your roof. Could be asphalt roof.
Yep, they did a job for me this week, man.
Oh,
Gave me
yeah?
a free estimate. Yep, gave me 2 estimates, repairs and getting the whole place, the whole roof repaired or replaced. And both estimates, cheapest in town. We had 3
Nice.
estimates done, or the seller had 3 estimates done. Todd beat them all.
All right, then. So, which was this an asphalt roof?
It was an asphalt roof.
Okay.
And the house was built in 1940, I think 47. It's got some funky roofs. A beautiful roof, but it's got
Sure.
some funky angles to it. They found problems that no other roofing company found. We found a mysterious leak. They found where the leak was coming from. They're top notch, man.
They really are. And here's the beautiful thing. Inspections and estimates are always free at River Region Contracting.
Got a couple of them.
And they're insurance specialists, so they can walk you through that claims process if your insurance is going to cover it, to make it a swift and easy experience, not something you normally associate with an insurance claim. And that's just how good Todd Clark and the team are there at River Region Contracting. There's a reason a lot of folks are calling them the premier roofing contractor here in the area. So call them today, 356-8635. That's 356-8635. And be sure to tell them that those fellas on the radio, Joey and Eddie, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
My brother-in-law died suddenly. And now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-457-6060. That's 1-800-457-6060. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-457-6060. That's 1-800-457-6060.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
Hi, this is Carl Schmidt, naturopath and owner of the Herb Shop. Listen every Saturday to Winning Wellness and learn from experts in different fields of science and technology how nutritional supplements can help you.
Listen to Winning Wellness every Saturday at 10 a.m. The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by Ernest Financial.
If you're tired of losing your money in the stock market, call David Ernest, 334-279-7431. Ernest Financial, LLC.
Hi, everybody. Alabama continues to get hotter and hotter every day, and still, basically, it's a dry forecast for now. Today's high temperature up to about 98, a little bit more humidity than we've seen, lots of sunshine, mostly clear tonight, overnight low 74, Saturday's high 100, heat index near the 105 danger range, and still, it should be a dry forecast with lots of sun. 99 on Sunday, with perhaps some widely scattered random hit-or-miss storms Sunday and Monday. Monday's high around 95. From the AMS Broadcast Conference in Myrtle Beach, Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
Do you have big plans this summer? Dive into summer with an ASE Credit Union vacation loan. Whether you've got a trip coming up, projects at home, or just need a little extra cash, we've got you covered. So don't put your plans on hold. Visit yourasecu.com or stop by and see us today.
The River Region's News Talk Station. News Talk 93.1, WACV. News Talk 93.1.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the Afternoon, or as we're calling this thing online, Joey Clark Live. And one advantage of what? Oh, excuse me. I have to give Craig the warning I usually give Eddie.
Shut up!
No.
Silly woman.
Sorry, that's the wrong one.
If you get a cough, please leave it alone.
Yeah, all right. Come on, guys. We got to tighten up here. But one advantage of watching online is you can comment, and we will occasionally share those comments. There is Captain Howdy, and the Medicine Show says it was painful to watch. I think he's referring to the interview with Mayor Reed yesterday.
Hopefully he's not talking about our show, because you don't say that. Hey, you don't say that.
You can say whatever you want online. I don't care. I really am at a point where I kind of don't care. It says the show was so much better when it was just you and Eddie. Oh, no.
They're not wrong.
Oh, no.
What?
Who said that? Was that my mom?
Yeah, actually. Is your mom's name Larry?
Larry Monger, yes.
The only peanut butter I think eat is the natural peanut butter from Costco. Mark Cumby sharing.
Typically
that.
has higher calories than normal peanut butter.
But isn't it better for you? Less sugar?
Well, the sugar's not bad for you.
Sugar's not bad for you.
Why would it be bad for you?
It seems like it is bad for me.
No, what's bad for you is being fat. That's why they literally. No, I'm not kidding. They've literally done.
Glad you cleared that up.
They've literally.
You reminded me of arguments my mother and father have had.
No, they actually did a study where they took individuals and fed them McDonald's exclusively, but they fed them in a caloric deficit, and all of their health markers improved. I honestly don't care how you get from A to B, but what will positively affect your health ultimately, more than any single thing, is lowering your percentage of body fat. That is the number one single single biggest thing you can do for your health. Now, that being said, is it easier to stay in a caloric restricted state, eating things like strawberries and blueberries and apples, which is sugar, by the way, as opposed to eating like, maple syrup and candy? Yeah, sure. That's why it's easy to overconsume those things. The reason why those things are quote unquote bad, the high sugar stuff, isn't because they have sugar. Just because they have sugar, it's because they're easier to overconsume. That's it.
That's fair. And then you're probably also, if you're eating a huge piece, I'm sorry.
I can eat maple syrup like nobody's
right,
dude. Yeah, dude.
Or if you're eating a huge piece of cake, like you're the type of person maybe eats the whole cake, you're probably also eating other stuff.
Yeah.
That's not good for you.
Yeah.
So it's
It
like
was
the
a low-fat
combination,
cake, Joey.
all the carbs, all the fats. Like
Yeah,
It was low fat cake.
But I will say there also does seem to be, just from self-experimentation and helping other people, there does seem to be some magic at eating quote unquote clean food. There's your body composition tends to stay better if you eat. The way I describe it is just if you can pick it, grow it, or kill it.
Right.
That's the way to go.
And Gumtown John, my former roommate, says get a sauna suit to help with the water weight, dude.
That's
he's just the trolling.
The
trolling is
Oh, I
good.
didn't
Don't
think
fall
of
for
that. It's like a sauna suit. It has nothing to do with intracellular water as regulated by your renal aldosterone system. Silly goose.
Patricia joins in, says I don't eat much peanut butter at all. Occasionally eat PB and J. Well, thank you, Patricia. I don't often have.
but
peanut butter.
are you a smooth or crunchy guy? You probably smooth because of the health part of it.
Actually, I can take it both ways. It just
really?
it depends on
No
what
matter?
I like. Honestly, I enjoy both of them for different
I'm a
reasons.
crunchy guy.
Yeah, I like crunchy too.
Yeah, see, the thing is, it's like it just depends on what I'm in the mood for.
Yeah.
Mark Cumby jumps back in, says feel like Craig would judge me. I'm a fatty.
I do judge you. Go to the gym.
He's a good guy.
If you want to leave
Mark's
a comment, just go to YouTube, Joey Clark Live, or at the Joey Clark on X, or you can jump in on Facebook.
You're fine, Mark Cumby. I wasn't yeah. I think the natural peanut butter has a better macronutrient ratio for sure. I just don't like it because of just the fat content generally. Typically, what I did, and this is why I was so mad about getting this peanut butter. What I typically do is powdered peanut butter, and if you reconstitute that with some sugar-free syrup, which is negligible calories, it's very, very good.
All right. Now let's go to a man who prides himself on his body fat levels, Red Top.
What up, Red Top?
Yeah, because there's zero and always have been. I ate plenty of sugar. Sugar is fine for you because your body is designed to dissolve it. What's dangerous for you is artificial sweeteners and high fructose corn syrup.
Actually, neither of those things are bad for you.
High fructose corn syrup is not bad for you.
No, why would it be?
Sugar water, right?
Yeah, it's just
Fake sugar water?
it's just
Okay,
condensed
okay.
sugar, or in the form of fructose. But there's fructose, there's glucose.
Is it
there's
chemically that
galactose.
much different?
No, it's relatively identical. Some people have negative reactions to fructose, and in some people it can actually it can negatively impact your hunger signaling in some people, but for the most part it's benign.
Man, that's one of those dangerous words, fructose.
Yeah.
It's like, have you ever eaten fructose in Norfolk?
You know what? You want to be sure about it, just eat some damn sugar.
Yeah.
Okay.
There
I
you
ate
go.
plenty of it. I ate a pint of ice cream, 2 brownies, and dark chocolate every night before I go to sleep, and I have sweet dreams, and I got no damn body fat. Now, let's talk about something different. Eddie Vedder.
Yeah.
Great real estate, and the kaleidoscopic pens that he has is the best in the world. Not only do they write everything on everything from skin to sheetrock, you can't lose the damn thing.
All right.
I have lost many a black pen and pencil, but Eddie Vedder's pens jump out of my damn toolbox every time I need
He
one.
does have great pens.
I
Oh,
pride
man,
myself
they
on my
do,
pens.
and they still work, and I can't sit down and break the damn things in half. And then one thing sure is about Eddie in real estate, when you're ready, Eddie's going to be ready.
Well, thank you, Red Top.
Well,
Now,
and Red
okay.
Top, hold on before you keep going. I know you got more. When you're there at Cracker Barrel and you have to play the little golf tee game, how far down can you get?
I don't waste my damn time. I got better things to do than play some stupid-ass game.
That's fair.
My brain is working. I'm sorry. I've never been good at games because they're all right-handed, Joey. It's all backwards.
Right, sure. It's just being a lefty. Yeah.
Remind me
Yeah,
of
yeah.
a cracker, Joey. Remind me of my Cracker Barrel story.
I will.
So I won't tell it now, but just remind me later.
And I don't go to Cracker Barrel. I just came from Hawk Rock, where I have fresh steamed cabbage, fresh carrot salad. I eat only fresh food, and that's the way to be good. And if you're over 60, don't eat supper. Period, exclamation point. You don't need to. Is that strong enough for you? Now, Hellfire Operation, I mentioned this on the earlier show, part of the Replicator program. You got to look into it, Joey, if you hadn't heard of it, about all the thousands of drones that are going to be deployed in the Taiwan Strait.
Yeah, we covered that this week.
Okay, good.
Wednesday.
Also, Chinese are coming back. They'll be back, I think, in about 6 to 7 days with samples from the dark side of the moon. That's going to be very interesting.
All right.
So, you guys have a good scalding ass hot weekend because it's going to be there.
You
Roll
bet.
Tide, go Trump.
See you, Red Top. Thank you, brother.
272-9228.
I'm sorry. Speaking of comments, Mr. Craig Wooden on YouTube says calories don't matter, carbs do. It's so funny to see a statement. I can't recall the last time I've seen a statement that was less true.
You're being trolled.
I know I'm being trolled. Like, actually, that's what homeboy right here is. He's trying to say he's going to spout off of the mouth about anything he sees, which I get the irony of me spouting off about seeing the thing whenever he's talking about me seeing what I'm seeing. But nonetheless,
No, it's seriously, Eddie and I could get a quarter, be like, let's put it in and put in this topic.
Well, believe it or not, people, whether I'm being trolled or not, idiots actually say this stuff, and it drives me insane.
Oh, yeah. No, calories
It's hard
are
to turn away.
Macros
Believe you
matter.
me. It's hard to turn away.
Now,
Calories
Jimmy...
are not real in the body. That's not how the body uses chemicals.
Hold on. Jimmy Miller says Eddie Bader looks like he needs a beer at a fishing trip.
I do.
Yeah, you do have that look.
Yeah, it's coming.
You'll be there, man. You'll be there before too long. And then, yeah, calories are not real in the body.
I'm not sure what that means. Calorie, by the way, it's like calories are just a unit of measurements.
That's
of,
what I thought.
Of energy.
What am I?
By the way, 1 calorie is the amount of energy it takes to move a gram of water 1 degree Celsius. So it's just talking about.
He's apparently citing biochemist Ben Bickman.
I can find a biochemist that says any sort of retarded stuff. Like, what does that have to do with anything? If you could figure out how, it's not just a human body, by the way. You're talking about energy consumption and energy preservation. Those are the rules of how the universe works. If you could figure out a way where a human body doesn't regulate energy the same way everything else it's called thermodynamics. If you could disprove that, you would solve the energy crisis.
Bro, I see that you've lost like 30, 40, maybe 50 pounds. Like, what's your secret? Because I see also what you eat. And it's like, well, I've learned to defy the laws of thermodynamics.
Yeah, turns out calories aren't real. I willed it to be.
This part of the program, before we hit the break, brought to you by All Pro Heating, Air, and Electrical. Great folks there in Tallahassee, Alabama, ready to serve the entire river region and surrounding areas. They can be your one-stop shop for all HVAC and electrical needs. Hey, it's the AC is about to be working overtime.
Yeah, it
especially
is.
if you like a cooler in your home.
Yes,
if you have
it is.
not gotten a checkup, I would suggest calling All Pro
definitely.
Heating, Air, and Electrical. Because it'd be better to get the maintenance done before something craps out. I've had that happen in the middle of the
And it's
summer.
going to crap out in the middle of summer, usually on a Saturday
It's
or
not
Sunday
fun.
or a holiday.
And here in the South, I'd rather it be in the winter.
Oh, no doubt.
Like during the summer.
I can put on a shirt. I can put on a jacket.
Yeah, you don't want to be in that position, folks. And then also with a lot of storms rolling through, those summer storms and the power going out, it could be you don't want a power outage.
Good idea, Joey.
It could be also, you've got maybe medical devices or certain other things that are crucial to you. Well, they can install All Pro Heating, Air, and Electrical, a Generac generator.
That's what you want, man.
All sorts of options with that regard. And of course, they offer financing with approved credit. So again, whether it's heating, air, or electrical services, All Pro has your back. You can always go to allproheatingair.com. That's allproheatingair.com. Or give them a call at 301-1961. That's 301-1961. And be sure to tell them that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Summers are fun, so how do you make this summer really stand out? You drive into summer in a new Toyota from Toyota of Montgomery. Make it the most memorable and the most fun summer ever with exceptional offers on the 2024 Toyota Corolla. Now just $207 a month. Or the hot-selling new 2024 Camry, only $285 a month. And the fun for everyone new RAV4, just $315 a month. You don't have to drive in your old car anymore. Toyota of Montgomery is paying up to $5,000 overbook value for your trade-in, so you can have the most exciting summer you've ever had. These hot deals on new Toyotas won't last. Drive with the best at Sutherland Automotive. Everybody wins. So get to Toyota of Montgomery today. Online at toyotamontgomery.com. Part of the Sutherland Automotive Group.
Corolla LE TSRP 2023. Camry LE TSRP 30,703. RAV4 LE 31,173. 12,000 miles per year for 36 month lease with $499 due at signing. $0 security deposit with approved credit. Excessive wear, tear, and eligible effect rate value plus tax tag title $995 with approved credit and 7/1/2024.
Hello, this is Pam with All About the Bounce. We have been advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting for a little over a month now and have seen great results. Thank you, Blue Water, for helping us to bring the bounce to more customers across the river region. Radio advertisement is definitely the best advertisement.
Radio reaches over 90% of everyone in the river region. Shouldn't your ads be out there where your customers are? Call us to find out more. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
I like what I like, and I do what I want.
If what you like is getting the highest payouts, getting the most free play, and finding more of your favorite games all on a spacious upscale gaming floor, then Wind Creek Atmore is your kind of fabulous. No matter what fabulous means to you, you'll find it here. Wind Creek Atmore. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Live local talk. The River Region's only 24-hour News Talk FM station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
But beyond that, you have to teach people how to de-escalate circumstances. De-escalate. So instead of anybody coming at you and the first thing you do is shoot to kill, you shoot them in the leg.
Joey Clark.
Great advice then from Vice President Biden. You know, the man's really lost his step, but back when he had his wits about him, back when he was at the height of his powers, he really was a wise guy.
Okay.
Yeah. Speaking of our friend Joshua Hagan, the chef, I would love to find out, because I'm sure. Oh, goodness, excuse me. I'm not sick, by the way. I have just a residual call from being sick.
If you get a cough, please leave the room.
That's one way to
You
treat
probably
people.
hadn't coughed all day until you get in here. It's this room.
No, but see, I would love to know what brand of knives Joshua prefers, because I've been I have a lot of kitchen knives, but I've been getting back into really trying to perfect my whetstone sharpening.
Okay.
And so I've been practicing every night, and I've gotten it like paper shaving. I've gotten to the point where I can paper shave pretty good, but no, like I wanted to get my
hair.
I wanted to get my arm hair, so I'm close. But
So Josh Hagan, what knives would you suggest?
See, I'm a big fan of the Dexter, whatever it's called. Dexter is what the big name on it, and I think those have been around for a while. That and Kiwi knives, which are a cheap. You can typically find them in like Asian markets. They're pretty cheap, but they cut brilliantly and they hold an edge very, very well. And plus, they're like $7. So even if you're if you're someone like me who doesn't, if you're not someone like me who likes to sit there and sharpen knives for fun, you can literally, after it's done, you just chunk it and buy a new one, and they're $7. So I'd love to
this
know
is
what
making
he
me
uses.
hungry again. The idea of fixing something up. Though I've been eating all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how I've been losing the weight, along with the workouts. Like all I had was tuna sashimi last night.
That's a good meal.
It was freaking awesome,
Well,
actually.
Shout outs, but no free shout outs. When we were in Auburn yesterday, we went and ate at Mike's Steakhouse.
Yeah.
It was as good as I thought it was, or better.
Yeah, Auburn's got it going on.
They do.
The restaurant.
Restaurants and the whole city of Auburn, very, very clean, very efficient. I got nothing negative to say. I was over there for several hours. A little crowded in traffic towards the end of the day, but not worse than anywhere else.
So coming up, I guess we'll get into the politicking going back and forth. And also, we're going to learn about how a U sign in a particular neighborhood in Los Angeles was taken down because the history of it was homophobic. Also, Biden went forehead to forehead with the Pope at the G7. The New York Post posted about Biden's aimless wanderings while there are people that parachuted down. The Biden campaign is saying this is misinformation, that he was wandering aimlessly.
Don't believe what you see here.
Right. Don't believe your own lying eyes. And, of course, got Father's Day coming up. Happy Father's Day early to all the dads out there, like the two gentlemen here in the studio with me.
What's up, buddy?
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
How's it going?
And so now we go from fathers to women. I don't have a lot to say because we don't have much time left in this segment.
And
but
you're a wise
apparently,
man?
I'm learning slowly. But apparently, the BBC does a thing where they'll, like one of these shows, they'll end the show with like a big performance. And I think this is BBC Newsnight.
Okay.
And Konstantin Kisin was putting this out there. And so I say we listen in, watch this together, and see what this is all about.
But we are going to leave you with a short taste of a play that opened in London's Soho Theatre tonight. It's arrived here from Belgium. It's called Sirens, and it is described as an irreverent feminist manifesto for the 21st century.
So what do we think it's going to sound like? It's opening up a new play, and it's a feminist manifesto for the 21st century, and it's called Sirens.
Oh.
What do we think it's going to sound like?
I don't think it's going to sound very man positive, that's for sure.
I think it's going to sound something like I'm fat and men won't date me. Well,
let's listen
With a
in.
twist of Yoko.
So have a listen and have a good night.
What is the sheet music in front of them?
Good question.
You need sheet music for that? Step aside, Wagner.
Maybe they actually get the words. I don't know. Or is this the whole thing? Ah! Oh, okay.
Oh, no.
That's the whole thing. What is... That's art now. That's high art, apparently.
Number one with a bullet, Joey. Heading right up the charts.
Yeah, but Konstantin Kisin was on point. He said the 21st century feminist manifesto is literally a mouse. We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Forecasters have warned Floridians to prepare for additional flash flooding after a tropical disturbance dumped as much as 20 inches of rainfall in the southern parts of that state early this week. Conditions are expected to worsen. The demolition of a 3-story classroom building where 17 people died in the 2018 mass shooting at Parkland, Florida's Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School is now underway. New York Governor Kathy Hochul says she's considering a ban on face masks in the New York City subway system, following what she described as concerns over people shielding their identities while committing anti-Semitic acts. Hochul says the policy would contain exemptions for health, cultural, or religious reasons. The Dow dropping 90 points, but the NASDAQ is up 3 points. This is SRN News.
Government debt is now exploding by an unprecedented $1 trillion every 90 days. Think of that. It's a clear sign that our nation's finances are spinning out of control, and it's putting the savings of every one of you at risk. Hello, I'm Lance Wallnow, a news analyst and best-selling author and an evangelical leader. I'm deeply concerned about the impact this runaway debt is going to have on Christians like you who have worked hard to build your own nest egg for your family. To protect your financial future in these uncertain times, you need to diversify with something tangible and proven, like physical gold. That's why I recommend a gold IRA. To learn more, text FAITH to the number 989898, and my friends at Birch Gold Group will rush you a free info kit on how to move your IRA or 401k to physical precious metals, tax and penalty free. So don't wait. Just text the word FAITH to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold Group is the only company I trust. There's no obligation. So text FAITH to 989898, and I pray this information helps you achieve prosperity and peace of mind.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Hi, everybody. Alabama continues to get hotter and hotter every day, and still basically it's a dry forecast for now. Today's high temperature up to about 98. A little bit more humidity than we've seen. Lots of sunshine. Mostly clear tonight. Overnight low 74. Saturday's high 100. Heat index near the 105 danger range. And still, it should be a dry forecast with lots of sun. 99 on Sunday with perhaps some widely scattered random hit or miss storms Sunday and Monday. Monday's high around 95. From the AMS Broadcast Conference in Myrtle Beach, Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
For the lowest prices around on flooring and DIY flooring installation supplies, Budget Floors and More is your new best friend. Luxury vinyl plank, carpet, ceramic tile, floor installation supplies, and more with prices lower than the big box stores. Budget Floors and More, Hunter Lane across from Del Rey Publix.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, here's today's top stories. The state of Alabama will receive nearly $13.5 million from a settlement with Johnson & Johnson. The lawsuit was related to Johnson & Johnson's baby powder containing talc, which increased the risk of reproductive cancer significantly for women. The settlement funds will be used for consumer protection enforcement and education. The Southern Poverty Law Center is laying off more than 60 employees. The SPLC issued a statement Thursday saying the organization is undergoing an organizational restructuring that resulted in staff reductions. Employees of the Southern Poverty Law Center voted to unionize in 2019. Indoor pickleball courts are coming to Garrett Coliseum. Coliseum officials are working closely with Legacy Pickleball to have the courts open and available by this fall. For major Coliseum events like the fair and concerts, the courts will be moved to the Ed Teague Arena. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group and an update on the real estate market in the River region. Sales of homes for the last 5 months will top 1,900 homes. Even though sales are slightly lower, the average sales price is still climbing. First-home homebuyers comprise over 34% of all sales, with no slowdown in sight for them. We now have more homes on the market in all price ranges, which gives buyers more choices than they've had in over 2 years. Some helpful suggestions for today's homebuyer would be: 1. Work with a local lender for your loan approval. 2. List 3 must-haves for your new home and seek to find properties to match your needs. 3. Work with an experienced and knowledgeable real estate agent to help you with your search, your showings, and receive advice on offers and negotiations. 4. Always use a licensed recommended home inspector when you find the home you choose. For all the details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group at 221-2883 or 551-0225.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Hey, miss, I don't mean to be telling tales out of school, but there's a fella in there who'll pay you $10 if you sing into his pan. I'm not here to make a record, you dumb cracker. They broadcast me out on the radio.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Second hour on a Friday free-for-all. And if you couldn't tell by the first hour, it is indeed Friday. We're going to do some serious stuff. We never know where the show's going to go. But also, we're just talking off air. This world we live in, gentlemen, is just crazy right now. Like, the Babylon Bee is having trouble like saying just truly satirical things because often their headlines become true a year later. Like it really is a absurd world we live in.
What are they like? The Simpsons going on? Are they predicting stuff now?
Well, no, like the Star Wars thing. Like it's literally like witches, like Jedi witch. What is it about? Like I always thought, oh, the Catholic Church and then the Salem witch trial. All this stuff is overblown. I'm like, where did this superstitious crap come from? And then you like see what's happening in the real world today. And then I saw how popular it was. I literally visited Salem recently. And so it's like, yeah, this is a big deal still.
Did you pick up any witches?
No.
Too bad.
No, I didn't want to get any curses.
Smart thinking.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I know we said we wouldn't respond to the trolls. This is the last time. Okay, Jonathan K. He says that the first law of thermodynamics is about the preservation of mass, not energy. No, it's not. The first law of thermodynamics is about the conservation of energy and the relative expenditure of heat and work and how that relates to energy conservation and expenditure. To say it's about mass is just tertiarily relevant. And then he says it means that 1 gram stays 1 gram. So 1 gram of fat gives you this I'm assuming he means same mass as 1 gram of carbohydrates. No, it doesn't. 1 gram of carbohydrates has a different caloric content than 1 gram of fat. That is, you cannot deny that. And first of all, I don't know what that has to do with how you saying that calories are not real in the body. That's not how the body uses chemical energy. The body doesn't use chemical energy. It transfers chemical energy to mechanical energy. And again, what point are you trying to make here? If you eat an excessive amount of calories, you will gain fat. If you eat
are you sure this isn't like a assault rifle ban situation here?
No, I'm 100%. I'm 100%. No. This is 100%. This is an indisputable fact, Jonathan K. If you eat in a caloric surplus, that means in a surplus of your maintenance level of calories, you will gain body fat. If you eat below your maintenance level of calories, you will lose body fat.
True.
And body fat is stored energy. The end. So I don't know what his whole point about 1 gram of carbs versus 1 gram of fat, besides being just simply not true. It doesn't. They both have different energy content. That's why it is. You can look up anything on this, and it will not say anything differently. I would love to see what gobbledygook he's reading to give him these crap ideas, but you're lying to people. Stop trying to justify whatever BS ideology you're promulgating and just stick to the fact that if a human being consumes excess energy, they will store that excess energy in the form of body fat or liver glycogen, muscle glycogen, and if you're really stimulative, then muscle tissue. But it's typically, if you eat in an excess of calories, you will store excessive adipose tissue. If you eat below your maintenance level of calories, you will use that stored adipose tissue, i.e. fat, i.e. stored energy, as energy, and you will lose fat. That is an uncontroversial, universally true statement.
All right,
shush. I'm done.
Stop looking at the comments.
I'm done.
Stop looking at the comments.
I got a lot of adipose energy.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, I did. I learned the word today too.
Yeah, I got your adipose energy right here. Let's go to Boomer T. Hey, Boomer T, how you doing?
Wow, I would give $1,000 to sit in a room with Mr. Know-It-All right there that knows everything in the world and Red Top. Could you imagine sitting in a room with these two guys right here? Let me tell you something, Captain. Everybody's body's different. Everybody's metabolism is different.
Oh no.
I can lose a ton of weight by eating nothing but drinking water and eating pig skins. I can do that. I can fast. But you know what? It's like this. I love this show, and I love these two guys. But let me tell you something. For 1 hour and a half, dude, almost you've been talking about nothing about your body, about your strength, about how strong you are, how good looking you are. Son, I'm 62 years old. I'm still sex appeal. I weigh a lean, mean 190 machine. So look here. Why don't we talk about
Madam.
No,
I have the microphone. I can talk over you all day long, and they'll hear me, and they won't hear a dang thing.
No, let Boomer T finish his promo.
Go ahead, Boomer T. Go ahead, Boomer T. Go ahead, lady.
Captain. Let me tell you something, sir. I'm more of a man than you'll ever be in your damn lifetime, Jackson. I don't know who you think you are. All I know is Joey, you better watch yourself, brother, because let me tell you something. I don't know who this cat is, but you don't know it all. and you think you know it all, and you think you're somebody. Well, you disrespect people. You're calling people fat. You're calling women fat. Let me tell you something. That ain't cool for this show. This used to be a cool show. But you know what, Captain? You ain't cool. You never will be cool. I don't care how much vitamins you eat, how big and strong you are, or how much you know about the book and the Bible. You'll never be cool as Captain Boomer T. Now, put that in your cap. Smoke that, Jack.
Yeah, wow.
I didn't,
All right.
I didn't even get to ask about the golf tee game at the Cracker Barrel.
He didn't. Boomer T, he gets one consistently.
Yeah, he's a good guy, and has been a long time listener.
Yeah. I forgot who he was temporarily, and then whenever it didn't register that it was the Boomer T.
Right, the Boomer T.
My sincerest apologies.
272-9228. If you want to brave these phone lines, 272-9228. Goodness gracious.
You were going somewhere before I decided to respond to the trolls.
Yeah, I don't even remember. Let's just see who's on line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hola. Woo!
What up, dog?
Let me tell you something, brother. When I get a sniff in, I slap right into that. That's got enough energy for me all day long, son. Woo! You piss these people off.
I have a unique ability, unlike anyone else in this room. It's fantastic.
I think it's your accent.
Probably.
Accent. Exactly.
Yeah, it probably is.
That's it. You ain't from around here, are you, boy?
I still think he's a Chinese spy.
I am a Chinaman. I am officially a Chinaman.
Be careful. You might have to go back for re-education camp.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Very dishonorable.
I buy that for $1, brother.
Hey, I sent you a story about Hulk Hogan, too.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Okay.
Look, that just caught me by very much surprise.
I thought Boomer T was going to break into wearing his alligator shoes and his pimp ring and somebody kiss all the ladies.
Who was that? Who was that, Eric, that used to do that?
That right there was a nature boy, Ric Flair.
That's right. Woo! Yeah, he was a man. He was a man.
He's really made me sad the past.
Old man Flair. Yeah, I tried to.
Okay, so at what point, honestly, at what point should someone like that just kind of step away? Because he's been in the spotlight so long. He's old. He's angry. He's a little bit drunkard.
No, I think he's going to go till the wheels fall off. He's just that type of person.
Yeah, he's going to go. He's going to go Peter O'Toole.
I think you're right.
But I mean, the classics still will always live in our memory, right?
You're talking to the Rolex wearing, diamond ring wearing, kid stealing, wheeling dealing, limousine riding, jet flying, son of a gun, and I'm having a hard time holding these alligators down. Woo!
High culture we study here on the show. From Feminist Manifesto plays to Ric Flair promos.
Craig, when you go off on those, I guess they call them diatribes.
Yeah, you're right.
You go over my head, and I just want to know, like, the simple. Like, I get that you have a wide range of knowledge, and I can appreciate that. But, you know.
I'm legally retarded. It's medically documented.
That's fine. I'm right there with you. I definitely suffer from a little of the autism.
Word up.
I'm on the scale, I'm sure.
Spurs unite.
That's why we can be friends. I can listen to somebody who's smarter than me and I disagree with, and I'll be okay. And I'm not gonna react poorly. I might have something smart ass to say, but you know that's mostly for comic effect. But keep on, Craig. I enjoy it when you get them riled up. But I would pay to sit in the room with you and Red Top, much like Science Theater 3000. Just film y'all, and then you know the audience can make comments like we do on the YouTube there.
It's so rare that a reference goes over my head. What in the heck is Science Theater 3000?
You haven't
Science
seen it?
Theater 3000?
No.
Oh my God!
The guy that's
It's like almost like
Chinese
puppets,
spy.
and then they sit. There's an intro to the show, and then they sit, and you can see them like in the front, silhouetted, watching some old movie that they make fun of throughout the whole movie. The peanut gallery, essentially, and they just sit there and make fun of old sci-fi movies.
Oh, is that like a
Mystery
YouTube
Science
channel?
Theater 3000? Yeah.
I guarantee I've probably seen one of their videos, but
you have to.
Yeah.
You
But it
have
just doesn't
to.
sound familiar off the top of my head.
Well,
all right, y'all. Craig, I enjoyed your story.
Of getting
keep digging.
fat?
Well, no, not that one. I don't. The only thing I can say is I hope you're not wearing what you were wearing last week, because that looked like one of those skinny jean things them weight wielders, them wrestlers wear, them singlets.
What were you?
Look
The leotard thing?
Yeah, it's not a leotard. First of all, Eddie, watch your mouth.
I didn't want to say that. I was hoping you were going to wear it. I was ready for the leotard. I had it ready to go.
It was a stringer under
course it
my
was.
shirt. I am wearing one because I go to the gym after this.
For the record, I'm a hater.
I was just
You
hoping
have
it
a
wasn't
beautiful
like
body.
a
I have a
onesie.
body of fat. So therefore, I have to throw stones at you. I have to.
It's a sports bra. Don't give up the secret.
Sports bro.
Well,
Sports bro.
appreciate the call, Eric.
All right, y'all. Adios.
See you, dog.
272-9228. Line 3, you're on there. Who's this?
This is Sweet D.
Hey, Sweet D.
Hey, Sweet D.
Hey, I just wanted to interject a little bit of our old friend who used to be on the air, Jack Campbell.
Oh.
You know what he used to say?
What's that?
Well, damn.
Oh, he had a lot of things.
Yeah, when she said, what did he used to say? I was like, most of which you can't say over the radio.
Well, how about we get off the cross? We need the wood.
There you go.
All
That's a
right.
good one.
Yeah, but anyway, truth hurts. And I think that's why everybody's mad at your host, guest host. But I would pay money to see him any day. But Red Top, oh, no way. I would pay money to get out of the room with Red Top, because all he's going to make you do is listen to his music. He will tie you down and put a gun to your head and make you listen to his music. There is no way.
I think that's actually one of his lyrics.
It should be as many times as he called this radio station begging people to listen to his music. Like, oh my God, are you a 12-year-old?
Does he make music?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Joey's got a copy of his.
God,
It's actually
there's
not
no
bad.
way nobody knows that.
Yeah, I don't think
If
it's
you don't
bad.
know this, don't listen to the show, because he called in for 3 months straight about some type of thing you stick in the computer and listen to his music, and he paid so much money for it. And why haven't you listened to it? And then he sent it to Greg. I mean, I'm so sick of this mess. Get your own show, Red Top, and play your music all day. We're tired of hearing about it. I want to hear more of Craig Munger and how cute he is, how fine he is.
He is
how
all that.
muscular
And a bag of
he is,
chips.
Everything he eats, I mean, I love it all.
Well, not only does he look like John Cena, he's getting the heat like Cena and the praise like Cena.
I didn't think about
There's
that, but
something to
you're right.
this.
I'm just telling you, and as a pretty girl, haters don't hate, baby. So
Well,
just
and
be
Dee,
cool.
before you go, when you're playing the golf tee game there at Cracker Barrel, how down low can you get with it?
I'm not a white man. I've never been to Cracker Barrel.
I had to ask.
Dee.
I didn't want to assume. All right.
Thank
No,
you,
I
D.
don't go to those type of stuff.
Okay.
All right, have a great day, guys. Happy
You
talking
too.
to me.
I know for
See
a
you, Sweet D.
See you, Sweet D. Thank you so much, by
Love
the
her.
way. I know for a fact black people go to Cracker Barrel because I actually dinged one's car at a Cracker Barrel one time.
Oh, yeah.
There's some videos of them going to Cracker Barrel. And it's funny. All of them are like, this place is good.
It's Montgomery. Like, it's majority black city.
I didn't go to Cracker Barrel in Montgomery.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
okay. Yeah.
No. There's
I tend to
better locations.
Yeah, I tend to avoid Montgomery unless work demands it.
272-9228. Hey, this part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. And their Pest Pro Ashley and her team are ready to help you, well, with all your pest control needs. 'Tis the season for mosquitoes. If you want to get rid of those mosquitoes, they can do it for you. Eddie can attest to this fact.
Yep.
It really is a great service. So if you're tired of spraying yourself or using candles that don't work, why not actually get your yard treated? And you're not going to get bitten up at all, if that's
the
even a
crazy
term.
thing is, I don't even see them. I don't even see them. It's not a matter of I see them,
Right.
they don't bite me. They're just not around.
Exactly. And it really is a fantastic service. Of course, they can also do termite inspections, termite treatments, or maybe you have like an emergency, like a huge wasp nest in the back shed, or a fire ant problem, especially you got kids or a dog getting into stuff like that.
Don't want that.
But you might as well make Pest Pro Services your everyday pest control company. So here's the deal. You can always go to ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces, but you should call them, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. And just remember, folks, when you want to know,
call a pro.
Call a pro. Pest Pro Services. Let's go to line 1 here. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is T Spear, and I just want to give y'all a little education about.
About what?
Lost her.
T-Spear, your phone's still broken.
Can we start a GoFundMe to get T-Spear a new phone?
There it is. There you go.
It would be nice if I just remember to take it off of speaker so that I can walk around and listen to y'all and do other things hands-free. Anyway, an education on sugar. High fructose sugar is generally corn sugar. Everything has sugars. First of all, everything. Everything from your tomatoes to your carrots to your peas and beans. Every kind of vegetable and fruit has sugar. Most of your high fructose sugar is made out of corn. Most of your table sugar is either made out of beets or sugar cane. There are no chemicals used in the manufacture of any of those other than sugars. And then there's honey. All of those sugars are actually good for your body. It's the manufactured crap, the xylitol and the saccharin. I'm trying to think of some of the others.
Sucralose.
Those are not sucrose. Those are not necessarily good for your body. Stay away from them.
They're not.
If you're gonna
Are you talking about
eat
those? Are
anything, eat the real
artificial
sugar.
sweeteners, though, aren't they? Is that what you were
That's
talking about?
correct. They're all artificial.
Okay.
And they're man-made, and they're not worth having. If you're going to have
So
sugar,
are Oreos,
have
and they're
real
very
sugar.
worth having.
Well, not really, but that's okay. Not unless you're making your own Oreos, which is a chocolate cookie with a vanilla cream filling.
I've tried to make the cream filling in an Oreo. It's just never the same. It's like trying to make a Frosty at home. There's just
Can't
some
make it right.
magic they push there.
That's because you're using the wrong kind of sugar.
How dare you?
And-
How dare
and
you
you're not
question my
getting it.
culinary skills?
Do you make ice cream?
I do. I make ice cream with a lemon honey creme anglaise first. Put that in
Well,
your
I
pipe
make
and
a lemon ice cream.
smoke it.
Oh, I make a lemon ice cream. I
Yeah.
make a chocolate ice cream.
Man.
If pretty much you name it, and I make it.
Yeah,
this-
but see, to me,
this
the
is-
thing that makes a good homemade ice cream is you have to make it out of English custard first, which that's the step that I find most people skip, and that requires it takes a little bit of love, just a little bit of whisking of eggs and sugar. And
Do you ever make your
cream.
own custard?
I'm not a custard. I'm not
You passed the
necessarily a
test.
custard base. I am a no egg base. However, oh yes. However, I only have in my lemon ice cream. I only have 5 ingredients: sugar, cream, half and half, lemon juice, and lemon zest. And it is absolutely out of the world. The difference is the different type of sugar that I use. I use a caster sugar, which is a finer sugar than you get in your grocery stores here. And that's where your difference will lie when you get ready to make ice cream again. Very easy. But needless to say, there is your educational tidbit for the day is the differences in sugars, and stay away from the man-made crap. It's not worth it.
Thank you, T-Spear.
In fact, it's bad for your body. And here's a shout-out to all the fathers out there. Happy Father's Day. For all of you who have defended that beautiful flag that it is our Flag Day, thank you for your service to me and my country. You are appreciated very much. Have a good weekend.
You too, hon. 272-9228. Coming up, we'll be covering Trump grabbing the youth vote in unprecedented numbers.
Which looks different when Biden grabs the youth.
Yes, vote, yes. And of course, we still got to get to Biden meandering around. And again, he went forehead to forehead with the Pope today.
Who do you think felt more uncomfortable, him or the Pope?
I think they both, they had a moment. I think they wish they could have stayed there for all
Oh,
time.
is that right? One of
Yeah,
those
been
moments.
painted on a Grecian urn or something. Just forehead to forehead. Two old
empty-headed men?
Marxists. Or, yeah. 272-9228. If you want to get on the conversation, I do have to address one person. Now I feel like I'm being trolled. Romex Engler says, I remember when this show had a peanut gallery, but I could feel my welcome being worn months ago, so I just sit and listen. It's not near as fun. Romex, I've been waiting for you to make fun of me.
He's waiting for us.
I've been wondering where you went.
He's waiting for us to go to dinner with him.
Oh,
He's holding
that's
out.
when. Okay.
And we're going to make it happen.
I see.
And we're going to make it happen.
Yeah, we've missed your input, Romax.
Definitely.
We really have. How about this? Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Right now, get the hottest offers on the hottest luxury vehicles. Drive in the summer with 0% APR financing on new Lexus models, or drive the new Lexus IS300 only $369 a month, or the 2024 ES350 now just $499 a month. Drive with the best at Sutherland Automotive. Everybody wins. Get the lowest Lexus payments now at Lexus of Montgomery, part of the Sutherland Automotive Group.
Number of 5130706 or C036027. 5,000 miles per year, 36 months with 3,999 due in signing. With approved credit, expires 6/30/24 plus tax and fees.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
The Health and Wealth Show. The Health and Wealth Show. The show so nice, we said it twice. Weekday evenings at 6 on News Talk 93.1 WACV. The Health.
Make it up, son. Joke's over, hey?
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
On FM, on your smartphone, and online. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Now, this is courtesy of Eddie Bader and his internet sleuthing, if you can call looking at Fox News internet sleuthing. Wrestling legend Hulk Hogan.
Just for the record, I got that off TikTok, then went to Fox to verify it.
So you did 2 hops.
Yeah, I checked the source.
You're like Daniel Craig in Knives Out.
Thank you.
With that fake Southern accent of yours, too.
Fake?
No, his is
okay.
atrociously fake.
Yeah.
It's
cartoonish, yeah.
It's almost like the second Boondock Saints movie. I don't know if you saw that. Yeah, it takes you right out of it.
But wrestling legend Hulk Hogan, brother, has thrown his hat into the presidential ring. The WWE Hall of Famer took up the challenge on Friday during an appearance on Fox and Friends, where he was asked if he would consider running for office. Quote, "We need somebody in there that's got some common sense," Hogan said enthusiastically. Oh, enthusiastically. "We need somebody who gets in there and got some common sense, brother.
Mm-hmm.
So if you need a president or a vice president, dude, I'll volunteer and take this country over, and I'll rule with an iron fist, a flat tax, nothing but common sense. I know right from wrong, brother." He actually did add the brother.
Reads like that? Yeah. Okay.
Yes, I added the dude, but he did say brother at the end.
Well, of course it wouldn't be. That's how we know it's him.
Right. That's how we know it's true.
Hogan's willingness to get involved in public office comes just after he launched a new beer company, Real American Beer, aimed at bringing people together across a divided nation. Hey, that's Afro-Man's running for president. Why not Hulk Hogan, too? It is a good way to kind of get your name out there and have fun with it. I had this crazy idea because I saw how competitive the beer industry was, and I saw what happened with Bud Light and their whole promotion that crashed and burned. I saw this crazy open lane, and it just reminded me of what needed to be done in this country, Hogan said this morning, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
We're much more alike than we are different. I just thought this is so much bigger than politics, because if you can't communicate and you can't talk, you're not going to get anywhere with your discussions, your decisions, or with people getting along. Yeah, but Hulk, I would say to Terry that do you remember the politics of, say, the wrestling industry?
Yep.
It's even worse in actual politics. Even worse, to where people aren't going to have honest conversations. They don't
Not at
use their
all.
words to communicate. They use them to manipulate. And but he said, I wanted to create a beer that will bring America back together.
He's still chasing
one beer at a time, brother.
He's still chasing this failed dream. You know, they offered him the George Foreman grill. And
Oh,
he laughed
did
it
they?
off.
Oh,
he was like number 3. George Foreman was like number 6 to actually get it.
Yeah,
You know, it actually just seemed like the Hulkster is having money problems as of late. I mean, I know he had that divorce where he just got
Oh,
raped.
man.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think he lost everything.
And then he just became pretty outspoken about his Christian faith. Like
Yep.
he
He
just,
got like
just a week or
baptized or
two
something.
ago.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't really pay attention to the celebrity conversion since Kanye
Right.
broke my heart.
like I guess Russell Brand did the same thing recently.
Yeah.
I get a little skeptical when it's that public.
Yeah.
Like, it's one thing if somebody covers it and you're just doing it and going about your life, but to sort of
When you're
put
making
out
it
your
part of the news.
journey, and I know that's Russell Brand's thing, and I think I like his show, like his interviews, but he is, I don't know.
He still seems
personal.
like he still seems like a bit of a pluralist in his that's why, like, if you're so outspoken and you're in the public eye like him, like, you almost have to either be all the way in or all the way out. So you have to give like some definitive statements of what you mean, what you believe, because you have people that are curious, or you just do it, make a like a slight brief statement of like, I'm a Christian now, and then you go on, or you just don't say anything at all.
So I now want to go to the Trump vote. Trump is grabbing the youth vote in unprecedented numbers. There's some folks who are real stunned by it. And actually, I'm not going to go to like PJ Media or Town Hall or Daily Caller, all these conservative places. I'm going to go to what is actually a well-crafted yet regime media all the same, Axios. And Axios put this out. Trump's bid to steal the youth. Vote share in presidential elections among voters age 18 to 29. And they're now starting to, converge for the first time in a while. But former President Trump appears to be making stunning inroads with youth voters as he stakes out youth-friendly positions that defy GOP orthodoxy and contradict past statements. The prospect of Trump coming within striking distance of winning young voters, which shows up in poll after poll, would have seemed unthinkable in the outset of the cycle. Public polling suggests a significant shift towards Trump could be coming in the 24 election among the country's youngest voters. The latest New York Times Siena polling of likely voters has President Biden with just a 2-point lead over Trump among those between ages 18 and 29. A recent Quinnipiac survey has Trump ahead by a point among registered voters between 18 and 34. By contrast, CNN exit polling showed that Biden won the 18 to 29-year-old vote by 24 percentage points in 2020, and that Hillary Clinton won the youth vote by 19 points in 16. So now Trump is up in one poll or within 2 in another. And again, this isn't Rasmussen, which has gone full-on nuts. Rasmussen's got a little feisty for a polling firm. This is the New York Times. This is Quinnipiac. The polls could be wrong, obviously. Polling younger voters has become more difficult in recent years as answering landlines, a traditional method of polling, is an archaic practice for today's youth. But, does this make sense that Trump has jumped on TikTok? Trump just did this big thing, showdown with Logan Paul. And I swear, folks, just them doing that like face-off stare and laughing and having this jovial moment, millions, if not billions of people are going to see that thing. And you got to remember, when it comes to elections, we like to think it's all about the arguments, right? The facts? No.
What we like to think.
It is not about that. People can vote for whatever reason they like. And often, most voters vote on an emotional basis or that in a way that jives with their temperament. So before that you ever get into rational argument, people are judging other things. I've been saying this for years. There are definitely people that vote for, say, Ronald Reagan because they thought he was handsome. And I remember him from the movies.
Yeah.
Like, it could be that simple. I'm voting for Hillary because she's a woman. Like, what does that really do? What are her policies? No, but that vote counts just as much as the person that sits there and tries to come up with the most sophisticated metric or rubric for deciding, okay, how am I going to pull the lever when I go into the booth? Well, we don't really do that anymore.
Nah.
Whatever happened to the lever action machines?
They changed out before I ever got to get in one. Besides when my mom would drag me in there with her,
But if Trump continues to do this, and apparently he's going to have a rally in Detroit of all places, like if he continues to make inroads with the minority vote,
yeah,
with Black Americans, Hispanic Americans, young Americans, great song by David Bowie, then you're looking at a potential sweep here, like much bigger number than just like a close showdown in the battlegrounds. But of course, this all comes down to the battlegrounds, and it would be interesting to see how all these issues are breaking down. Say, what's the youth vote in Georgia look like? What are the minority voters numbers in Georgia actually look like when it comes to this upcoming race? But Trump has hugged the cryptocurrency world. Axios is crediting why the youth vote's paying attention. Made me pay attention. If I have to come up with some way to decide, do I vote for Trump or Biden? Well, first off, I'm like, well, the state of Alabama, we already know which way it's going, which way the electoral votes are going. But let's say in a world where Joey's vote decided things, how would you decide, Joey? And I'd say, well, Trump's for Bitcoin, Biden isn't. Simple as that.
That's your...
Simple as that.
Yeah.
I don't need any other reason. Yeah. After, especially how he jumped into the deep end with it. Trump is like ready to go. Oh, I love it. Whereas Biden's regime, the Biden administration, and the regulatory state that he's overseeing has been hostile to that stuff. It took a pretty lengthy lawsuit to get these ETFs up and running. So I could see that really appealing. And don't underestimate the influence of the huge influencers. Like Logan Paul's reach is no joke.
It's pretty significant.
The man is charismatic, and he gets a lot of eyeballs. So, I mean, I think that's bigger than Cardi B sitting down with Joe Biden, for instance, which they still have not been able to discover how to get Cardi B back on Team Democrat. She felt a little betrayed, which, like, well, welcome to politics again. Don't do it, Hulk. Don't do it, Hulk Hogan. This is worse than when he turned heel and went NWO, Hollywood Hogan.
He's trying to stay relevant.
Yeah, sell his beer.
Yep.
But I found, I find this is just another trend that Trump is doing incredibly well in ways unexpected. And when you're selling T-shirts with the never surrender and it's your mug shot and you're making jokes about it constantly, you're having way too much fun at your rallies.
Yeah.
He's clearly going off prompter, improvising. There's something in the water here. Now, we'll see what happens with the debate, which is what? Maybe next week? I don't even know. I need to look it up. One of y'all look up. When's this presidential debate in June here?
All right.
Because that could be the deciding factor on whether Biden is thrown under the bus or not. Because if Biden really does just crash and burn, they have to break glass and go with somebody else. In my humble
I don't think they have no choice, do you?
Yeah. I think they have to. If he crumbles there on that stage. Now, like, you got to wonder, what did they pump into him for the State of the Union?
We're fixing to find out.
Because that Biden on State of the Union night is
Not
very
the same
different
guy.
than Biden, say, at the G7. Like, just night and day. Or Biden in so many other settings where it's like the man is slurring his words, he's barely lucid, and then the State of the Union, he's like, all jacked up.
Oh, obviously, they got him on some kind of cocktail, and it's a cocktail that has an
steroids?
expiration date. Yeah.
Test.
So that's what Hitler was
lots
on,
of different
was amphetamines, and stimulants. Amphetamines and testosterone.
Yep. Well, and then wasn't it also on opiates later? Like it was a weird
I think
up-down thing.
Yeah, he had some weird ailments. His doctor was they wrote an entire book about Hitler's doctor. But yeah, he was on a pharmacy towards the end.
Yeah. Well, you got to wonder too, like Jack Kennedy was. Like that medicine is an art as much as it is a science, and especially if like your goal isn't long-term health, you're like, I need to perform
now
in front of the entire world. I'm a leader of a nation. Give me something that will work. And you just got to wonder, are they doing shots into his back like Jack, or I didn't mean it that way. Like
no, I just
like
mean the pain of
syringes,
having to take a shot to the
yeah.
Yeah, what was he getting, like regular epidurals or something?
Yeah, and it was like Dr. Feelgood, and it was a weird cocktail.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine that used to have to get him, and he would give me the descriptions of getting in his back. It's awful.
Yeah. That's a whole other layer of politics, the amount of like performance-enhancing drugs. You think about it in sports, but it's clearly used in the political world. And it's been known for years about the massive pharmaceutical bill for Congress alone.
Right.
Like the amount of scripts they fill.
Well, remember someone, I don't know if it was one of the pharmacists or it might have just been one of the pages, but they said if we cut off the medicine to Congress, we would not have a functioning body in 24 hours. They're on that kind of meds. Wow. And think of the age of most of the congressmen. Think of the pills they got to take just to make it through the day.
And then other folks are saying, well, Trump's lost his fastball. Now, I watched the Logan Paul interview with my grandfather, who's 87. So he knows he keeps saying, don't get old, Joe. And I'm like, I don't know if I think time beats everybody. But we're sitting there watching, and he goes, yeah, Trump looks different. Trump looks old. But he didn't mean it like Trump looks tired. It looks like Trump's lost weight. And also his demeanor in a lot of these settings, in these interviews, is less combative. Even when he's being combative, it's more on the funny side. Like, oh, yeah, I'm going to do the debate with Fake Tapper. I don't, I know Jake for a long time, and he's probably going to do. Like, he's really being weirdly conciliatory in a lot of the stuff he's saying.
You think he's listening to people, or he's kind of...
maybe he's feeling more comfortable in his own skin and like in the persona he's putting out there. It doesn't have to be the Trump that we had known for 2 decades. He can sort of be, in his own way, presidential, which would be, I think, effective strategy going into November.
Refreshing.
But Trump apparently also visited Capitol Hill.
Oh.
And apparently reports are showing that he was, in that setting, even conciliatory. Like, I know we've had a lot of differences in this room, but, I love you all. We're going to make the country great. Even you, Mitt. Even you. So here's Trump at a press conference after meeting with, I think this was senators and House members, the Republican side, of course. Let's listen in and judge for ourselves. Does Trump need an upper like Joe?
And no matter where you look, in fact, a lot of states that people thought weren't in play are very strongly in play. Some were actually leading in. But we have to get elected. We have to take this beautiful place, and we have to make it really something very special. Again, right now it's not special. Right now it's being scorned and being used as an example of when they look at the crime on the streets, when they look at all of the problems that we have, they're using us as a bad example of democracy. And they're getting away with murder, and we're not going to let it happen. So I just want to thank you for coming, and I want to thank everybody here. You're all either elected or you're going to be elected again and reelected, and I'm with every one of you, and you know that. I'll be with you always. And thank you very much for inviting me, and we're going to have great success. I think we're going to have a tremendous election. It's November 5th is very important, but we really start much earlier than that. You have North Carolina as an example. You have North Carolina September 6th. You have Pennsylvania. It starts on September 22nd. These are things different from the old days. We had election day and you had paper ballots and you had voter ID. Unfortunately, maybe someday we'll get back to that, but you don't have that right now. But this is an outstanding group of people. I'm with them 1,000%. They're with me 1,000%. We agree just about on everything, and if there isn't, we work it out. And I've had a really great relationship with just about everybody here, and just about all of the senators. And if it wasn't fantastic, it gets worked out. And we have one thing in mind, and that's making our country great. So thank you all very much. We appreciate you being here. Thank you.
Yeah, very low key. He even apparently behind the scenes saw Mitch McConnell, shook his hand. The two discussed things for a while. This was the first time McConnell and Trump had seen each other and really talked to one another since December of 2020, after McConnell said he was going to recognize Biden. So this he does. You can see it however you want to see it. He always sounds tired there. But to me, again, he sounds more conciliatory. Like, I'm going to bring the party together. I'm going to relax in the jabs that I'm throwing. And even, again, the jabs he's throwing these days are a little more playful than they are nasty. So it's an interesting moment in our country's history. And I just, again, don't feel that the chessboard is fully set here. We will see if other issues or other players rise to the field. Got to hit this break, but first, this part of the program, in fact, the entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And there at Alabama Home Mortgage, Kim Williams and her team, especially the lovely and talented Madeline Cannon, they can help you whether you're looking to buy or refinance. Now, Would you suggest, Eddie, you're a realtor. Would you suggest your clients work with Alabama Home Mortgage?
All day long and twice on Sunday. Right now, in fact, I think talking with Madeline this morning, she's probably at a closing right now. So she's just like me. She runs 24/7. If you've got any kind of mortgage questions, there's a million places you can go online and you can get answers that people won't stand behind, but you can call them up and they'll stand behind you from beginning to end. They'll even come to your closings. These are great, solid people. And that's a big benefit of dealing with somebody local. Just with us, whether we're buying or selling, it makes a huge difference if you have a local lender, because it's telling me I've got someone I can relate to, I can reach out to at any given time. I don't have to worry about what side of the world they're on. Don't have to worry about what their time zone they're in. I got somebody local that I can talk to.
Yeah, and you're not just a number to them.
Not
they
at
actually
all.
do get to know you.
Yep.
So again, whether you're looking to buy or refinance, and all sorts of reasons to do both right now, give Alabama Home Mortgage a call. That number, 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you could always visit them on the web. Apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Summers are fun, so how do you make this summer really stand out? You drive into summer in a new Toyota from Toyota of Montgomery. Make it the most memorable and the most fun summer ever with exceptional offers on the 2024 Toyota Corolla, now just $207 a month, or the hot-selling new 2024 Camry, only $285 a month, and the fun for everyone new RAV4, just $315 a month. You don't have to drive in your old car anymore. Toyota of Montgomery is paying up to $5,000 overbook value for your trade-in, so you can have the most exciting summer you've ever had. These hot deals on new Toyotas won't last. Drive with the best at Sutherland Automotive. Everybody wins. So get to Toyota of Montgomery today. Online at toyotamontgomery.com. Part of the Sutherland Automotive Group.
Corolla LE TSRP 23,923. Camry LE TSRP 30,703. RAV4 LE 31,173. 12,000 miles per year for 36 month lease with $499 due at signing. $0 security deposit with approved credit. Excessive wear, tear, and knowledge will affect trade value plus tax tag title fees $995 with approved credit and 7/1/2024.
Honey, did you call an electrician to put in that new bathroom outlet?
No, I thought I'd just get Cousin Ray.
He's not a real electrician.
Oh, Ray's handy. He can do anything.
Being handy and being an electrician are two different things. Electricity is complicated and potentially dangerous. Each year there are thousands of home fires caused by faulty wiring. You need an expert. To wear the Crosby Electric uniform, you have to undergo background checks, drug testing, continuing education, and rigorous safety training. When you need electrical work, or if you'd just like someone to assess your home for safety, call the experts at Crosby Electric.
So, how about that nice outlet Ray installed in the bathroom?
Do you think it's safe?
It's fine. See, when I plug in my electric razor, it...
Now the lights are out. I am not sleeping a wink until you get Crosby Electric out here.
Don't take chances with electricity. Call the experts at Crosby Electric, 272-2085, or visit us at crosbyelectric.com.
Rich Thomas weather brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. Truckers, if you are looking for green grass, contact Wiley Sanders Truck Lines. In business since 1959 and still growing. Call today, 855-777-9785.
Rich Thomas weather. Hi, everybody. Alabama continues to get hotter and hotter every day, and still, basically, it's a dry forecast for now. Today's high temperature up to about 98. A little bit more humidity than we've seen. Lots of sunshine. Mostly clear tonight. Overnight low 74. Saturday's high 100. Heat index near the 105 danger range. And still, it should be a dry forecast with lots of sun. 99 on Sunday, with perhaps some widely scattered random hit-or-miss storms Sunday and Monday. Monday's high around 95. From the AMS Broadcast Conference in Myrtle Beach, Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
Have the best looking lawn in the neighborhood with help from Capital Tractor. Wet Bobo here. Don't miss our Buy a Mower, Get a Blower sale going on now. Buy any Kubota mower on our lot and get a Stihl handheld blower absolutely free. Kubota and Capital Tractor, Montgomery, Brundage, and Greenville.
Now you can add the power of digital advertising to the #1 reach of radio. Let Blue Water's 20 years of local advertising and marketing success show you how. Grow your business with a complete suite of digital solutions, combined with the reach of the most listened to radio group in the River region. Call us or go to BlueWaterBroadcasting.com to find out how we can increase your return on investment. Blue Water Broadcasting, local folks helping local business.
If you're new to Medicare, the ins and outs can be complicated. At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Alabama, our local advisors are here to help answer your questions, and we're here to help you find a Medicare plan that fits your needs. Visit bcbsalmedicare.com or call 1-844-627-5612. Now, Medicare, that's focused on you. Blue Advantage is a PPO with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Blue Advantage PPO depends on contract renewal.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368. An equal housing lender.
When news happens, you'll hear about it first. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WHCV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Well, we go to some other callers here. Let's go to Michael Cohn with Cohen's Electronics and Appliances. Hey, Michael, how you doing?
Hey, Joey. How are you?
I'm doing all right today. How's it going at Cohen's?
It's going wonderful.
That's great to hear. You. I guess the weekend is upon us, but of course y'all are open on Saturdays. So if folks are working on the live-long day during the week, they can make it by on Saturdays, 9 to 4?
Yes, sir. 9 to 4. And did you say live long, like all the live long day?
I did,
working
yeah.
on the railroad?
I did. I snuck that in there, that old-timey. I do that on occasion.
God, we're old.
One thing I want to underline, because we've talked about appliances this week, we've talked about the audio options and other electronics you have there on, say, the entertainment side. But your staff, whether it's folks that are trying to help folks pick out what they want, to the folks that go and set up things, like deliver and will set up this equipment, appliances or electronics, I think they're second to none. And I think it's a main reason for y'all's success.
Well, I think so. It's a cliche that the people make the difference. But, we're fortunate that two of my appliance technicians have been here probably 30 plus years. My audio guy, Michael Jacks, has been here about 17 or 18 years. The other people that are in appliances have been here probably 5 years, and my sales staff has been here for 10 to 30 years. So, you deal with somebody, and you're going to more than likely get to deal with them again. So, they have an extra incentive to treat you right the first time because they have to face you the second time. And of course, and then we're accessible. You can call me if you have a problem, but it's all about service and trying to take care of everybody.
Yeah, and when you are going to buy one of those big ticket items, say like a new refrigerator, you want to know you've got people who have your back, and that's very much true of Cohen's, folks. So you can always go to thinkcohens.com. But I really encourage you to stop by the Boulevard, 2515 Eastern Boulevard here in Montgomery. Open 9 to 6 Monday through Friday, 9 to 4 on Saturdays. And, hey, maybe, Father's Day is on Sunday, but maybe do a sort of father shopping spree on Saturday, something along those lines. Stop by Cohen's today.
That's right. Come see us. We'll be here, and we want to take care of you.
Well, I appreciate it as always, Michael, and hope you have a good, happy Father's Day.
Thank you. I hope y'all do, too.
Thank you, Michael.
272-9228. Both Eddie Bader and Craig Munger still in the studio here with me. And let's go to, I don't know if we have enough time. Soldier Boy.
Soldier Boy!
Hey, first of all, Eddie and Greg, happy Father's Day, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks, buddy.
Oh, sorry.
Yep. I think that would be a big cure for a lot of problems in our crimes and in the number of people in our jails today, especially the men's side, if we had fathers, men that were real fathers to their children.
Can't argue with that.
It starts at home, and it starts with these men not having good male role models. be it, and single mothers do the best they can. I grant that. But uncles, grandfathers, brothers, we all need to step up. Step up and be these boys, male role models for these boys to be, before they get a hold and grabbed by the bad side of society. But what I called for, the main thing is you notice one thing about Trump? Trump has turned into 2.0. This is Trump 2.0.
It really is.
He really is. I mean, he's not attacking people arbitrarily. Now, if you attack him first,
he's coming.
He will gladly. He's a counterpuncher.
Right.
He'll come back and pounce it. But you notice he's not going out there looking for a fight.
No, and he's very much. He's more prone to make fun of himself too. Like it's fascinating to watch.
I tell you, I think all that he's been through and everything, it's totally changed him a lot. And I think that's why his numbers in the Hispanics and the black community and the young people community has changed and the numbers have gone up.
Yeah. Well, and you know what? I think one of the smartest things Trump could do is if he gets reelected, is he appoint, say, somebody like Vivek or somebody of that level and appoint them to essentially be the point man that runs the administrative side of the government.
Yeah.
Where he continue to be the big decision maker at the end of the day, and then also do a lot of more like ceremonial stuff.
Vivek's got a spot waiting for him on that cabinet. Absolutely.
Yeah, and I think if Trump sort of does, he's like has some grace about it because he's not getting any younger either. And if he plays into that, I think it and shows sides of himself. I don't think he's shown much publicly.
No,
it could be to his benefit.
And I think something too when it comes to that debate. I don't think he's going to go after. It ain't going to be Trump 1.0 going after Biden because that would make him look like a going after an old feeble man and make him get a little pity syndrome. And I think he's going to let Biden run and open his own mouth and let himself look bad the way he is.
I hope so.
I think he is, definitely is. I don't think he's going. I think he's going to break out the points. He's going to break out the facts and just bring it out. But he's not going to throw out Mr. Low Energy. I love that one though. remember that one? Who was Mr. Low Energy?
Jeb.
Who was that? Jeb, yeah.
Jeb is a mess. Jeb is a waste. Jeb is a big fat mistake. Like what a line.
Who do you call Mr. Small Hands?
Rubio was calling him small hands. Now I remember that debate.
Look at these.
And that whole debate, he kept going, little Marco, little Marco, to where Rubio slips up and calls him Big Don.
I'm starting to get suspicious. Who's going to be the VP? What do you think his VP is going to be?
We've been talking about it nonstop. I don't know who he's going to pick, but I like Burgum. I like Byron Donalds.
But you think it's for sure going to be one of the circle people around him? One of the ones that he's
No, I don't know for sure. I don't know anything for
Right.
sure. Certainly not Trump's decision-making process.
I think it's going to be somebody else just because he's king of the head fake.
You know what I think? I think it's that who's that tall governor from South Carolina or whatever the name?
Or, no, Doug Burgum?
Burgum.
Is that the tall guy?
Yeah, the billionaire who that's North Dakota's governor.
Yeah.
No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about the governor that went after the school and brought it back to power.
Glenn
back to the
Youngkin?
parents. I like him.
Now, I have to, after that comment, I have to ask you, when you play the golf tee game at Cracker Barrel, how low can you get on it?
Probably about 2.
Okay. Well, you're honest, and that's worth everything.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, like my old man used to say, if you're not a man of your word, you don't have anything, Joey.
Right. Well,
so I think I like Trump 2.0. A part of me does. I think it's been more receptive to the society in the whole country. Matter of fact, what do you think about the idea? No tips for
great idea. I think it's fantastic. I think Trump is ready to promise all sorts of things to get people's attention, but I got to hit my top of the hour break. I always appreciate it, Soldier Boy.
All right, man.
See you, Soldier Boy.
Final hour on a Friday coming up.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Although more rain could trigger additional isolated Florida flooding today, forecasters say the strong, persistent storms that dumped up to 20 inches in
southern parts of the state appear to have passed now. Some neighborhood streets in the Miami and Fort Lauderdale areas still have standing water, although it is rapidly receding. Tesla shareholders voting to restore CEO Elon Musk's record $44.9 billion pay package that was thrown out by a Delaware judge earlier this year, sending a strong vote of confidence to his leadership of the electric vehicle maker. The Florida Panthers moving within a victory of their first Stanley Cup title, holding on to beat the Edmonton Oilers 4-3 in Game 3 of the finals. The Dow is down 122 points, the Nasdaq losing 4 points. This is SRN News.
Government debt is now exploding by an unprecedented $1 trillion every 90 days. Think of that. It's a clear sign that our nation's finances are spinning out of control, and it's putting the savings of every one of you at risk. Hello, I'm Lance Wallnow, a news analyst and best-selling author and an evangelical leader. I'm deeply concerned about the impact this runaway debt is going to have on Christians like you who have worked hard to build your own nest egg for your family. To protect your financial future in these uncertain times, you need to diversify with something tangible and proven, like physical gold. That's why I recommend a gold IRA. To learn more, text FAITH to the number 989898, and my friends at Birch Gold Group will rush you a free info kit on how to move your IRA or 401k to physical precious metals, tax and penalty free. So don't wait. Just text the word FAITH to 989898 to get your free info kit on gold IRAs. Birch Gold Group is the only company I trust. There's no obligation. So text FAITH to 989898, and I pray this information helps you achieve prosperity and peace of mind.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather. Well, hi, everybody. We've been in an upward trend on our forecast. We're going to see the hottest days so far, and it's not even officially summer yet. Tonight, we'll say mostly clear. Overnight low temperature down to about 74. Saturday, tomorrow, high near 100. Heat index near the 105 danger range. Slow down, take it easy, stay hydrated. Still a dry forecast with lots of sun. 99 on Sunday with perhaps some widely scattered hit or miss random storms Sunday and Monday, afternoon and evening hours. Monday's high 95. From the AMS Broadcast Conference in Myrtle Beach, this is Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
Do you have big plans this summer? Dive into summer with an ASE Credit Union vacation loan. Whether you've got a trip coming up, projects at home, or just need a little extra cash, we've got you covered. So don't put your plans on hold. Visit yourasecu.com or stop by and see us today.
1819 News.
There's a new legal challenge to a state law that is designed to protect in vitro fertilization here in Alabama. The plaintiffs from the original case that went to the Alabama Supreme Court are now asking a judge for the new state immunity laws for IVF providers to be declared unconstitutional. The original case resulted in the state Supreme Court ruling that the plaintiffs could proceed with a wrongful death lawsuit following the destruction of their embryos. This caused IVF providers here in Alabama to halt procedures for fear of further litigation from other clients. The Alabama legislature then passed a state law that was signed by Governor Ivey, which provided immunity for the IVF clinics to resume. In this latest action, the plaintiffs made the request to the Mobile County Circuit Court, arguing that the state law violates their fundamental rights under the U.S. and Alabama Constitution. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
I'm Amy Beth Shaver with Alabama Unfiltered Radio, and when I need the news and I need it fast, I turn to Andrea Tice and the Daily Detail. On my way in, it is the most convenient, best way for me to digest what's going on so that I can use it for our show. She tells you what's going on in Alabama that day first and fast. So listen to the Daily Detail with Andrea Tice. Don't miss out.
The Daily Detail is available wherever podcasts are found.
Bond is denied to a man charged with the mass shooting in Stockton that occurred this past May. Mac Adams will be held without bond until his trial. The same will go for Toucan French, who is also charged in that shooting for the death of Christian Bradley. Another suspect in this shooting is Robert Brown Jr., who is awaiting extradition from Mobile County. Prosecutors plan to ask for no bond for Brown as part of Anaya's law. The shooting occurred during a May Day celebration that involved thousands from the Stockton community. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Bates House of Turkey is celebrating their first anniversary in Montgomery and 100 years in business with a renovated Montgomery location. Come enjoy the famous hickory smoked turkey sandwiches, the old-fashioned roast turkey dinners, and their expanded grab-and-go frozen casseroles and soups. There's plenty of room for small groups in the expanded dining room. Order online at BatesHouseOfTurkey.com. Dine-in, carry-out, and delivery services available. Bates House of Turkey in Montgomery is open Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Eat turkey. Feel turkey.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's News and Views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
You never want a serious crisis to go to waste. And what I mean by that is an opportunity to do things that you think you could not do before.
What the hell are we doing here?
We are behaving the way a superpower ought to behave.
Well, our behavior has produced some crappy results.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back to News and Views in the afternoon. Before we get into some more serious topics, because there are serious matters in the world, there is a comment from the Romex Angler, and he's asking Eddie, did I miss the Joey Clark live party? I wasn't sure if hell froze over yet or not.
See?
No, he is not. You have not missed any live party. I mean, we still got to do a get-together. I haven't even thought of that. I'm waiting for when the time's right. When hell freezes over.
That's apparently going to be the right time. But we do have a 1-year anniversary of the YouTube thing coming up, where we started the podcast.
Oh, yeah. When was it? July?
July something. I don't know exactly when. I know it's in July.
Yeah, and I would say for a year just trying to figure this out on our own.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting there. Slowly but surely. Slowly but surely. Now, apparently Putin floated a peace deal.
Oh?
Yeah. Like he floated the idea just the other day. And he actually said a lot in this press conference he gave. You can go find it and find transcripts. He said quite a bit in this. Essentially talked about how the world is becoming a more multipolar order. Other nations are moving away from the United States. And I'm sure he wishes that, but there's also a big aspect of truth. Again, the best propaganda is the truth. Somebody's like, oh, you're spouting Russian talking points. What I'm concerned with is not Russian talking points or American talking points or UK talk. What's true?
Right.
And often, if the truth is on your side and you're trying to manipulate people and have it you tell the truth.
Yeah.
If it's not, well, you deflect, you lie, you do all sorts of things. And so here is Putin, and it's the translator's right over his voice, laying out, say, a deal for peace.
These principles are quite straightforward. Ukraine must fully withdraw its troops from the Donetsk and Lugansk People's Republic, from the Kherson and Zaporozhye regions. And let me emphasize that I'm talking about the entire territories of these regions within their administrative borders as they existed under Ukraine. As soon as Kyiv says that it's ready and starts the withdrawal of its troops, and once they say that they're no longer willing to join NATO, just the same moment, immediately, we will stop the fire and launch talks.
So, launch talks. So get out of the territories we're fighting over, promise not to join NATO, ceasefire, we'll talk. Do we think that's going to happen?
No.
Yeah, not going to happen anytime soon because, well, and another part he said at this press conference is that Zelensky's illegitimate. His term's already over. We don't want to work with him. So I think the Russians, Putin in particular in this press conference, he's making demands he knows he's not going to get.
Yeah.
And I think this war is going to continue. I mean, the latest in the war is, more movement along the front and in small doses how it's been for the last year or so. But I just have a feeling that this is not going well for the Ukrainians. I agree with Senator Tuberville that Ukraine cannot win. And Lindsey Graham can poo-poo that as Russian talking points all he wants. But I think that's the truth of the matter.
Yeah.
That's
true.
I've yet to see someone lay out a logistical way that they can.
Right. Well, and define winning, too.
Yeah.
Because they always love to define whatever happens as a win.
Oh, sure.
That's
how you fail up.
Right.
Well, getting him to stop his offensive would be I think, the closest thing. I mean, would be a definitive win. How are you going to do that? Like, that's the logistics I'm talking about. How
Promise not to be in NATO and pull out of the occupied regions, as he says.
It's not going to happen.
Whereas I think the United States is at the G7, where Biden was forehead to forehead with the Pope. He is working on a 10-year security agreement directly between the United States and Ukraine.
Yeah.
Which we've essentially already been doing that.
Yeah.
Massive of what, $160 billion?
Yeah. Yeah, they'll
So
do
it's
it
like-
even more and be more expensive.
It's like a couple with a few kids and who've been living together for 10 years getting married. It's like kind of gratuitous at this point.
But isn't it fascinating that you remember the fiasco that was the Afghanistan pullout?
Mm-hmm.
As soon as that ended, I thought it was a disaster the way it went down, and I think that's all on Biden. The way he moved the timetable, the pullout on September 11th. Remember, that's the date he chose. Like there was so much he just set up for failure, and it was an abysmal failure.
Well, I think
but
part of that too is so we'd be distracted by what we're doing here.
But I remember when he gave the speech after the pullout, I was like, this is the speech some president should have given 10, 15 years ago. Yeah. And it would have been a damn good speech. But instead, it's in the midst of catastrophe, dead Americans. But at the end of the day, okay, we're out of Afghanistan. I'm like, whew, not going to continue to pump money into that corrupt hellhole. Because what, they claimed they had a 500,000 man Afghan army?
Yeah.
It didn't exist.
They had 5 guys at best.
And so you think, well, at least that war's over. And at least Iraq's kind of, winding down a little bit. ISIS seems to be defeated. Not fully gone, but, put in their place. Like, I guess no new war. Oh, wait. We got this thing with Russia and Ukraine.
Yep.
And it's just awfully convenient how as soon as we get out of the frying pan, well, we're back in the fire.
Yep.
272-9228 if you want to hop in on the conversation. Line. Oh, that's very rude. So you got any plans this weekend, Eddie?
Yeah, my plans have changed. I'll be showing houses all week.
Oh, yeah. Well, you don't seem happy about that, though.
Right. Because I don't like realtors.
There's so much he wants to say, but has learned not to say when it comes to this world.
I really wanted to do the Office Space thing. Oh, no, it looks like someone has that kicked on the Monday. Nah, brother. I feel like you can...
That's what I need. Yeah. That's the kind of stuff I need. I thrive on that. Reality sucks.
I thought you thrived on shirts for retired, Miami detectives living in the Everglades.
Okay.
Try to keep a low profile, man. Is it not working?
You deserve to be like sitting on a boat, drinking some sort of IPA, talking about your best busts back in the day. There was this one time you had 40 kilos in the back of a Pontiac.
So from serious to silly to even more bizarre.
Yeah.
This has been trending all morning on Twitter X. This report out of Los Angeles. And I is this not a Babylon Bee story? Like, I'll just play it. But before we play it, I'll pull it up on the live stream, just the still. What are we seeing here, gentlemen? It looks very clearly in a very fetching gold bedazzled blouse.
That lady's got big old hair, and that ain't no lady.
Yeah, that's definitely a drag queen.
Yeah.
And 2 other folks, they're like groping a no U-turn sign. So it's the U-turn with the big red circle with the slash.
No U-turn. Can't do that a lot in Montgomery.
Yeah, we got a few of those signs here.
Yeah.
The no U-turn.
Yeah. I thought
And there's good reason for that,
Safety.
too. Yeah, like you can really have a lot of blind spots if you're trying to do
Certainly
one
can.
of these quick turns in a median.
Yep.
And so you're thinking, what is going on with the drag queen groping the U-turn sign? Well,
Is that a new fetish?
Peyronie's disease.
Let's find out. Oh, they're taking it down.
Huh?
LA City Council members Hugo Soto Martinez and Nithya Raman were on hand today to help remove the signs. They say the no cruising and no U-turn signs were put up in the 1990s to prevent people in the gay community from meeting up with other gay people.
I was also surprised that these these U-turn signs.
I got to pause it there. The person you're hearing speaking, folks, his name is Maybe a Girl. Maebe, middle initial A, last name Girl, and is a Silver Lake Neighborhood Council member.
Were still up, and at first, they seem a little. Okay, it's just a no U-turn sign. But when you learn the history of it and you realize that these were used to profile gay people, it's so important that we have these removed.
The LA City Council members say the signs were put up after the gay community began to grow and because there was a gay bar in that area.
That's what's happening in Los Angeles.
That's as dumb as math is racist. It's right there with math is racist. No, U-turns are anti-gay. Have you got nothing else going on? That's the argument you want to have today?
It looks like a residential neighborhood area, too.
What happens when the first wreck happens? I wish a wreck would have happened right there. I wish somebody would have done the U-turn and they would have had a wreck right there.
So it was put up to stop cruising, so gay men, I assume, could meet up. All right, then. Thank you for that report, Maybe a Girl. And there's clips of Jillian Michaels going around, the fitness influencer, and she's like, she's very lefty. Like, you can go through, like, her lifestyle, like, what she's all about, her politics. She was on Sage Steele's podcast and said things are getting really bad. And she goes through this list of all the woke stuff she thought she believed in. She's like, it's gotten so insane in my home. That is California. I grew up here. This is my home.
Yeah.
I have to leave.
Wow.
And I think, in particular, what do they always say? So goes California, so goes the rest of the nation.
Yep.
I hope not. And I'm not even just talking about the cultural stuff. The economic rot in that place, with the exception of, say, Silicon Valley, and then all the great rural farmers still there in that part of the world. But when you look at what the cities are, you look at infrastructure, what Los Angeles has become a hellhole. And there's almost something about it being the city of angels that it's become something like Sodom and Gomorrah at this point. There's a poetic irony there in certain ways. I don't know what to make of that. Other than, thank God we live in Alabama, and God bless Alabama. I'm like, isn't there a better way to meet up than
I think I read a story it was last night, Goldie Hawn of all people. She said she's ready to leave California.
We noticed, by the way, this whole segment, Craig has been perfectly behaving himself. He's been completely
I think
quiet.
he's got something to say to me off air. It's going to make me feel better.
I hope so.
You ever pull a U-turn on anybody?
I pull U-turns all the time in Montgomery.
You can say no.
I'm not a good liar. I'm not a good liar.
Yeah, it's
not a good liar.
So I honestly, there was a lot going on. What was just the U-turns like a sign of like blowdowns, or like the down lows, not lowdowns, down lows?
Well, here, let's hear the beginning of the report.
LA City Council members Hugo Soto Martinez and Nithya Raman were on hand today to help remove the signs. They say the no cruising and no U-turn signs were put up in the 1990s to prevent people in the gay community from meeting up with other gay people.
Yeah, that's what it's what it sounds like. People cruising.
Mm-hmm.
So
we used to cruise right out here on Atlanta Highway.
Yeah,
different kind of cruising, homie.
Okay, I'm just checking because I thought that would. Because people in high school, hey, you're going cruising this weekend? Yeah, we're cruising the Strip. I mean, I didn't know that was.
It happened a lot in like really urban areas. They were called Down Low Brothers.
I do remember, but I do remember that, but I don't remember.
Yeah, so that's essentially what you do is you go around. People would just be standing around waiting for someone in a car to drive by, and then you'd kind of just know. Almost like, I don't know if you've ever bought drugs in a shady way before, but typically you know it when you see it. So you drive through a certain area, you see someone, you kind of just know. So that's what they would do. You know, they'd hop and go for a ride.
I feel very glad about being ignorant to that.
Yeah.
Did they consult the traffic department though before they did this?
I would hope so.
Because I would love in the city of Los Angeles, in the middle of Pride Month, they're trying to do this because it was stopping gay men from meeting up. And the traffic department's like, no, actually, we had an impact report of what was going on in this area, and we thought a no U-turn sign was going to be effective. Like something incredibly bureaucratic and boring, but the sort of stuff you would hope out of a city.
I thought they did traffic studies and stuff before they put up signs.
I've never seen a no U-turn sign actually work though. If someone's going to do a U-turn,
right? Usually they're at the most places I'm going to do a U-turn. Is there a sign?
So, I mean, if you ask me, it's just a gratuitous symbol, removing a sign that nobody pays attention to and pretend like you're doing it to better the gay community.
Oh, by the way, this is a little bit, I guess, good news here in Montgomery with our police department, as much as all the bad stuff that everybody's talking about. Apparently the motorcycle cops are back out. Traffic enforcement.
Guess who's back?
Yeah.
And the Segway cops have never left.
What is that? I'd rather be a bicycle cop.
I would rather be the bicycle.
Segway cop. I would rather be a hobby horse cop.
What,
That's a real sport, man.
You never done a Segway tour?
Yeah, it was great.
I've never done a Segway tour.
We did it in Atlanta. It was great, but I could not imagine trying to enforce any type of law or anyone taking me seriously while I was on that Segway.
There's a vast difference between like touring a city that you've never seen before in July on a Segway and just sitting there crouched down, halt, evildoer. It makes no sense. Plus, like literally every black guy I've ever known can outrun a Segway. So.
Yeah, just get a set of stairs and you're good.
Yeah.
Goodness gracious. Yeah, I gotta wonder, like the officers that are put on that beat.
That is someone who took off leadership in a big way.
But yeah,
I ate the last donut at the last luncheon or whatever.
Let's just say I know somebody who was recently pulled over by a motorcycle cop.
Yeah.
I was like, they're back? Okay then.
Guess who's back?
Do they all look like they're about to start doing some sort of gyrating stripper dance? I've always seen they always look very
or like
stripper-esque.
do you know Sarah Connor? Let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Rob Villa.
Hey, Robzilla, how you doing, man?
Hey, I've been hanging in there.
That's good to hear, Rob.
Just turned on my radio, and I was greeted with U-turn signs are designed to prevent homosexual relationships. Did I catch that
On
right?
that particular road, they were trying to stop cruising.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't stop you from picking up a heterosexual lady of the night or anything like that.
Well, I don't know.
I wouldn't think so.
My style is more to just drive at a regular rate of speed, and if you want to hop in the back, come on.
Okay.
That's why I had an El Camino back in the day.
All right. I just wanted to make sure I was hearing things right.
Yeah. You're not alone in your reaction, man.
Yeah, not at all, Rob. You're not alone at all, buddy.
Bye.
See you, Robzilla. Good to hear from you, man.
272-9228. This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health. And they're at Montgomery Men's Health. Well, they can help you fellas out. In fact, I know guys ain't going to the doctor. I don't like going to the doctor. But Montgomery Men's Health was created to take care of guys just like us. And, you know, if you're noticing a lack of motivation, a lack of energy and drive, including a decrease in your sex drive, you just always feel tired, perhaps even seeing unwanted weight gain and loss of muscle mass, feel like you're walking through your life in a fog, well, knowing whether you have low testosterone is huge in combating some of these issues. It happens to men as they get older into their 40s, 50s, and 60s. But it's already happening. People can't send me joke texts about this in the middle of doing a live read. You can't send. It's also happening, low testosterone, to younger men in their 20s even. So if you're experiencing these symptoms, why don't you go by Montgomery Men's Health? They can conduct a testosterone-focused lab workup plus a PSA test and a consultation for only $99. And they have low T treatments there. If that is indeed your issue there at Montgomery Men's Health, that can truly change lives. Men can experience higher energy, better gains in the gym. Brother. Better mental clarity, improved sleep patterns, a faster metabolism. You usually even notice an increased libido. And you can actually book the same day that you call. So call them. That number, 440-3663. That's 440-3663. Or go to MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com to book your appointment today. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, line 1. This is Sam. Calling
Sam.
from the chat. Yeah, I'm calling from the chat room. We're looking for more Eddie and more Joey in the chat room. It's kind of quiet. Hey, guys.
What do you mean?
Hello? What do I mean? Oh, it's just a discussion we were having in the chat room, and it's private discussion. So if you want to catch up, you're going to have to come. Nothing. I'm being a butt. I apologize. Hey, listen. What's happening with the motorcycle police in Montgomery?
Yeah.
It's a big buildup. Remember, cell phones in a hand. They will be looking for elderly people, the police will, and people that will give them no resistance. So they're getting ready to go out and write a bunch of tickets. That's my cynical. Anybody holding a cell phone, which means pretty much anybody they pull over. So,
Or maybe somebody who's speeding.
man, I just sound cynical today. Hey, Joey.
Hey.
I'm finishing changing the belt on a riding lawnmower under the shade, man.
That's why you're a little angry.
No, I'm just saying that there's some people, maybe even in the studio, that drive around like they're a Meatloaf song.
Well, I'm trying. Which one?
Well, you'll have to guess.
No. I just
And it's not the guy who looks like John Cena.
Joey, you got a fine show, brother. Yes, you do, and I appreciate you and Craig. No, but let me go. I just wanted to call in and cut that up. My father has been pulled over in Montgomery 3-4 times. He doesn't like to wear a seatbelt, and buddy, they can spot him.
Yep.
You know, all the other crime and stuff. It's a whole sore spot with me, but yeah.
Easy. No resistance.
That's it. Hey, listen, guys, y'all keep on keeping on. All right.
Appreciate it,
Say,
Sam.
Sammy.
Come back room.
All right. 272-9228. Before the break, with Putin talking about the shift in the multipolar world, it's not just Putin, it's all sorts of nations and news articles where you're seeing Saudi Arabia and the Arab states trying to do a lot more work with China. In fact, China is looming large in the Middle East in general. Also, the war in Gaza is isolating Israel more with most other nations in the world. You're seeing places that should be the United States' best friend, like India, deciding, nope, we're going to work with everyone here. It's not the same world that it was in the 1990s or even the early aughts. The world is becoming more multipolar. That's why this next report, and it's one of our favorites, Eddie, Peter St. Onge.
Love that guy.
Favorite of mine. You know this guy, Craig?
Yeah.
It really just sound guy in his analysis. This is less an economic piece he put out today, but it's more about the populist surge in European elections. And so if you are having European elections that are moving towards the right, this does not bode well for everybody who's upset about, the changing world. It could hasten things more so. Let's listen into Peter. Wow. Well, and here's how it could play out. That, okay, we didn't win the EU Parliament, but we could pull just what the British did.
Right.
We could have a Frexit, like France leaving.
Sure.
Or we could just have Germany being like, are we German?
Very German.
Yes, we are German. And if France and Germany decide at the national level, we're done with the EU, the EU is done.
It's done. It's done.
Like, Germany is the powerhouse there economically. France maintains some cultural hegemony there on the continent. Those two pull out. It's done.
Mom and Dad, they're gone.
And you better believe somebody like Vladimir Putin or somebody like President Xi or a lot of other players all over the globe would kind of like that outcome.
Of course they would.
But we'll see where all this goes. 272-9228 if you want to hop in on the program. Before we close up shop, this part of News and Views brought to you by Reed Waters there at Clearwater's Property Management. Clearwater's does tree removal service. So tree removal, tree trimming, and even stump grinding.
Stump grinding, yeah.
And, you know, it could be something awful happen, like a storm came and a tree fell on your home. Well, they can, of course, remove that for you. But you could get ahead of the game because, you know, if you have a tall enough tree, that thing's going to be swaying, moving there, and it's a matter of time whether it breaks at the top or it comes out from the roots.
Mm-hmm.
And so why not get ahead of the problem? Or it could just be, hey, you want some, you got maybe a lot of overgrowth, say in the backyard or the front yard, and you just want that trimmed back. They can do that for you there at Clearwater.
View a little bit.
Absolutely. And then, of course, stump grinding. That can be, when you're trying to make the yard look great, you can only mow around it so many times before the thing is just an eyesore.
That's so true, Joey.
And so if you need to get that removed, again, Clearwater's Property Management. Give Reed and his team a call today at 430-0376. That's 430-0376. And be sure to tell this great new sponsor that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Make 2024 the year you break away from the chain stores and join us here at Adams Drugs. We value your business and want to provide you the best customer service at the lowest possible price. We've been serving up excellent customer service here in the River region for over 62 years.
I made the swap to Adams Drugs and I couldn't be happier. Having a job and then getting 3 kids to all of their activities keeps me busy. I don't have an hour to waste waiting on a prescription. At Adams, they know me and my family. I get in and out in minutes, and when I can't get by Adams, they'll bring the prescription right to my door.
What are you waiting for? Come in to Adams Drugs and let us earn your business. Our friendly and personal staff will talk with you and answer any questions you may have about your prescriptions. Your satisfaction is our #1 goal. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for the location nearest to you. Adams Drugs is your local independent Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
This is your roving reporter, and today I am talking with an elk. Hey man. Mr. Elk, I was just wondering, what do elk do to take care of their money?
Well, like most smart folks, we call David Erdis.
You mean Alabama's most favorite asset preservationist?
That's him, man. We call him up at 334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839.
I see.
Yes, he is our preferred money man.
The money man with the money plan.
You've been paying attention.
Well, could you give us those numbers one more time?
334-279-7431 or 205-479-0839. And I just want to try to give you a heads up, man.
Oh, what's that?
I'm not an elk.
Not an elk, huh? Well then, pray tell, what are you?
Knights of Columbus.
I am not even going to make a comment.
Well, the baby liked it.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state, while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
You put it in geologic formation where it's permanently stored. I mean, permanently. So for geologic time, it's down there, it mineralizes, and it just becomes carbonate rock.
That's Brett Eastep. His company is Tenaska. They lead the way in carbon capture and sequestration by storing it 10,000 feet underground. Listen to What's Working Saturday noon or find us online at what'sworkingcam.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
The Rich Thomas Weather Network is brought to you by the Johnny Adams Law Firm. They want you to stay safe on the road. Please don't text and drive. Get to your destination safely. Your family and friends will thank you. From the Johnny Adams Law Firm.
Well, hi, everybody. We've been in an upward trend on our forecast. We're going to see the hottest days so far, and it's not even officially summer yet. Tonight, we'll say mostly clear. Overnight low temperature down to about 74. Saturday, tomorrow, high near 100. Heat index near the 105 danger range. Slow down, take it easy, stay hydrated. Still a dry forecast with lots of sun. 99 on Sunday with perhaps some widely scattered hit or miss random storms Sunday and Monday, afternoon and evening hours. Monday's high 95. From the AMS Broadcast Conference in Myrtle Beach, this is Rich Thomas for Blue Water Broadcasting.
John Bobo with Capital Tractor. Don't miss our great package deal right now on a 25 horsepower Kubota tractor with front end loader and more. All for 0% APR 84 months with approved credit.
Now through September 30th, 2024. See Capital Tractor or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
A lot of old Christians.
Welcome back. The news and views in the afternoon. Let's go right to the phones and listen to BB, what he's got to say today. Hey, BB.
Hello, good afternoon. About 3 or 4 days ago, I think Tuesday afternoon, y'all was talking about a rancher out there in Texas that had videos of looked like soldiers coming up from the border marching across the property.
Yeah.
Do you remember his name? I couldn't find it. I'll look for it.
I don't remember his name off the top of my head. I can look here for a second. Yeah, it's gonna go way back. Yeah, I'm not seeing it immediately here. I know it was on Fox News, and if you type in 5th generation rancher, Fox News, like soldiers, that might bring it up.
Okay. Awesome. Yeah. I was going to make a suggestion to the mayor and all. I don't know if they've done away with this panhandling or not, but get these folks, make it legit. So, okay, you want to make money in my city, you're going to have a business license. And, that way they can get them off the street if they ain't got a license.
Well, Councilor Szymanski informed us this week that there was sort of an all-of-government approach to getting rid of, what would you call it? It would be a trap house? Where off of Ann Street, where a lot of the homeless were living, and they just got rid of it. They cleaned it up, which, that's good to hear.
Oh, yeah. And, and I warn everybody coming up Atlanta Highway before daylight in the mornings, I have seen several homeless people walking in my lane wearing black clothes, pushing black bags and everything. But those folks aren't right. They're
right.
That's probably somebody that should be in a mental place.
Yeah, that's a lot of the problem with the homeless, especially here in Montgomery. We have a lot of mental illness, and I don't think they don't have the treatment available for them.
Right.
And it's
when I grew
sad.
up. Yeah, when I grew up, you had tar water. You had several places you could put them in and all. But anyway, I enjoy y'all. Keep the good work up.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, baby. Isn't that Beans and Bullets? That's how he goes by. See if this is actually working. Sorry if this wasn't working before, folks. But this is maybe a great exhibit in denial. This is, man, what a throwback. Donnie Deutsch on Morning Joe.
Donnie Deutsch?
Donnie Deutsch.
Okay.
Let's listen in.
The problem is not, the real problem is not the party itself. It's
the Republican Party.
Voters.
The voters.
Subscribing to the party. 74 million of them last time around. This time, Trump ahead in the polls, not by a lot. So the real question, and the thing that is the most troubling, and I know a lot of these Trump voters, is the party speaks for itself. They're transparent. We see it. Other than Liz Cheney and Mitt Romney, I don't think there's, and now you saw Paul Ryan, I don't think there's a Republican that has spoken outside of, and again, or against fearless leader. So what is it about, at this point, half the country that says, that's my party, I'll vote for that, that works for me? That's the troubling part. Is
why? I'll let you keep speaking, Donnie, but in part, people like you, Donnie Deutsch. People like you. If you weren't so old, I might even call you a metrosexual, but the makeup ain't working anymore, honey. Sorry, I didn't mean to make a U-turn there. Let's keep going.
Is beyond the party is the voters that are subscribing to it. That keeps me up at night.
That is concerning. I will say, fortunately, there are some members that have spoken out, some Republican senators and congressmen that spoken out really harshly against Donald Trump that I know will not meet with him. Hold on. Oh, okay. All right, Alex, I'm really confused because Alex says these people are actually meeting with him.
Yeah, well, they tried to do a bit on Morning Joe. Yeah, Trump did meet with all these senators, including Mitt Romney.
Thought so.
Yeah. It's almost like traditional party politics does come back into play right around election time. Like, which team you on?
Yeah.
So, we'll see where it goes. But that seems like, just looking at Joe and Mika's faces, I often find that, number one, these folks don't give a damn at the end of the day.
Has no effect on them, man.
They really don't. They're sitting fine, fat and happy and high cotton right now. But it's also, when you watch a lot of the cable news industry at this point, there's a lot of denial going on.
Oh, yeah.
About the shifts in not only our politics, but our media and in the world in general.
Start blaming.
A lot of denial.
Blaming each other, too.
I mean, there are a few folks, like, I kind of feel bad for somebody like a Will Cain on Fox News, because I've been watching that guy for a long time. When Glenn Beck started The Blaze, Will Cain was one of his featured commentators and reporters. And to see him now get a platform, but it's like, it's at a point where this sort of stuff is speaking to those in their 70s. And yeah, people in their 70s tend to vote more than people, say, in their 30s.
Sure do. Got time to do it.
But the times, they are a changing, and I am happy to see it. Again, 272-9228 if you want to get on the program. What an amazing thing to say. The problem isn't the party, it's the voters, the 78 million people.
That sounds like Hillary. Wouldn't blame somewhere else.
272-9228. How about this? Let's hit an early break. This will be our final break of the day.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Right now, get the hottest offers on the hottest luxury vehicles. Drive into summer with 0% APR financing on new Lexus models, or drive the new Lexus IS300 only $369 a month, or the 2024 ES350 now just $499 a month. Drive with the best at Sutherland Automotive. Everybody wins. Get the lowest Lexus payments now at Lexus of Montgomery, part of the Sutherland Automotive Group.
Number 5130706 for C036027. 5,000 miles per year, 36 months with $3,999 due in signing. With approved credit, expires 6/30/24 plus tax and fees.
Hey guys, this is Todd Clark with River Region Contracting, your premier roofing contractor in Central Alabama. So remember the name, River Region Contracting, for all your roofing needs. We're not affiliated with any other roofing company in the River Region. We've been in the roofing business since 2005. We don't have to buy our leads, and we don't have to knock on doors when the storms come around. We have thousands of satisfied customers throughout Central Alabama. So call us at 334-356-8635. That's 334-356-8635.
Hi, I'm Dawn Sexton with Physical Therapy and Balance Center in Prattville. I've been advertising now with Blue Water Broadcasting for a while, and it has greatly increased our referrals. We're glad we can help people get increased mobility to love their life again. I highly recommend advertising with Blue Water Broadcasting. Thanks.
Blue Water Broadcasting is the #1 most listened to radio group in the River Region. Find out how to put this reach to work for your business. Call us to find out how we can help. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
Sunday, July 21st, 6:30 p.m. at the Montgomery Performing Arts Center, it's Wayne Newton live. Mr. Las Vegas himself, Wayne Newton, takes the Impact stage for one night only, Sunday night, July 21st. Wayne Newton, up close and personal at the Montgomery Performing Arts Center, July 21st at 6:30 p.m. Tickets are on sale now at the Impact box office or online at Ticketmaster.com.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is #1 in the #2 business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Immediate. Carrying your voice across the River Region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. And I don't know if this mic works, but Jacqueline Tomlinson's here in the studio.
Can you hear me?
Kinda.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, a little bit.
Don't you dare, Eddie.
Come on.
Eddie doesn't want to...
No, she doesn't want her gangster look out there.
Hey, listen, like, I own it. Like, I'm going to own it.
You're wearing an Adidas tracksuit.
I'm here for it. Look,
Just the top. It's not the full track.
haters going to hate, okay?
Oh, it's not the full... I haven't seen the
No,
bottom.
no, it's not the full, because so Greg had me here this morning.
Yes, I heard you here this morning.
He and Jesus are the only ones up that early. And so I'm here, and I had to get dressed in the dark. And finding the pants was just not an option.
Wait, but you do have matching pants.
I have the whole suit, Joey.
I like that. And you're wearing the medallion?
Man,
and...
let me tell you, I'm gangsta. Y'all don't even know.
I've been telling Eddie.
Straight up gangsta.
Listen, Eddie knows, so don't dare me, man.
Dude, I could tell you some.
No, the one day he said, "Oh, it's all good in the hood." It's like you can't say that, mayonnaise
Yeah,
face.
you have no street cred.
Are you kidding me? I could take you to my old neighborhood and both you guys would lock the doors in the car.
Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Let's
Challenge
go.
accepted.
You look
Let's
like
go.
you should, honestly, you look like you should be spinning on your head on a piece of cardboard in a park.
Let me tell you something. If I could, I would.
Right. They're like safety dancers.
What
Yeah.
neighborhood? What neighborhood are we talking about here?
Yeah, where are we going?
Just the gardens.
Oh, get out of my face.
Newtown.
Listen, I like Newtown.
Good deal.
Spent a lot of time over there.
Really?
You know what I do.
Yeah, you're right. Actually, you're right.
I know people.
Now, you have joined us. And I had one clip I'd forgotten I saw this week I wanted to share before we run out of time here.
Oh, no.
No, and this one is actually, it's an argument you hear, and I thought this is one of the more tactful takedowns of this argument. And again, this is Logan Paul. And I don't remember this preacher's name, but Craig, you might recognize him.
Possibly.
Let's listen in here, folks.
Are you attracted to men? No. Why not? Because that's the way I'm hardwired. That's my
So what if someone is hardwired the exact opposite way, by their God, and then not accepted by their God because God's book says we don't accept you?
See, when you listen to yourself talk the way you did, I think there's a presupposition you've got, which is God created me the way I was born. And the Bible contradicts that. Meaning by that, I was not born with a desire to forgive. You hurt me bad enough, I'm coming after you. That's naturally what I do. So then I've got to ask myself the question, my desire to come after you and seek revenge, is that what God created me to do? Or did God create me to forgive? I was not born with a heterosexual drive to have sex with just one woman. I was born with a heterosexual drive to have sex with as many good-looking women as I could get into bed with me. This whole idea that God created me to be this way, no. I am born with something that Jesus in the Bible calls a readiness to sin factor. When I was a little kid playing in a sandbox with a buddy, I got ticked with a buddy. So ticked, I picked up a metal truck and slammed him over the head with it.
The cops are still looking for you, by the way.
That's right. All right, it came very naturally. I never saw that behavior modeled from my environment. It was sort of an instinct. It just sort of happened. So this whole idea that every drive that I have that I'm born with is good, no, I've got a lot of drives that are not good. In fact, I'm a mixed up kid. That's why I need God's help, because I am a mixed up kid.
Yeah, let's say a message to humble some folks.
Why are you looking at me, Joe?
Well, I mean, we could all use it. I wasn't in particularly thinking about you.
No, I mean, I think from my personal perspective and belief, I think that there's some truth to that. You know, I think that we have predispositions to certain things, and then we all have our own sins that we overcome. And my sin looks different than your sin, and what I may be predisposed to is different from what you are. So I don't think you're born. I know he'll get you.
Well, this mic is just.
Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't think that you're personally born to be a homosexual or a heterosexual. I think it's a choice that you make, and if you have those desires, then you overcome those desires by not acting out in that. Just like if you're married, you may have, the propensity to commit adultery. You make a decision every day not to cheat on your spouse.
Yeah.
So, I mean, one sin is
Maybe
not
you.
weight.
I don't have time for any of that nonsense. It's a time thing for me.
I use that example as a divorce lawyer who deals with adultery on the daily, not in my own personal life. But, I make a decision to make it personal. I make a decision every day to wake up and love my husband.
Oh, yeah.
Some days are easier than others, and he'd probably say the same about
Sure.
me. But I wake up every day and I decide that I'm going to be the best mom that I can be to my kids. Same thing. Like, I wake up every day and I make the decision that I'm going to be a heterosexual female.
Yeah. No, I just found this guy.
That's a great clip.
Yeah, that guy who's explaining, he's in a lot of clips where he's often like on the street at college campuses going back and forth with
Like kids yelling at him and
kids.
stuff.
Yeah, oh yeah. But he's not the fire and brimstone type. I've run into those.
Yeah, there's one that does it downtown Prattville.
Oh, really?
Yeah, like during.
I know him personally.
Yeah, and every time I talk to him, he's a super nice guy. But I mean, we have one in Prattville.
One of these days, by the way, I'm gonna stop because what I mean stop is every morning now when I go early to work out, and I go work out like 7:30 in the morning. As I turn out of the neighborhood and go down Perry Hill Road, I think there's a Baptist church right there, and there's always a guy with a long beard holding up signs.
Yes, absolutely, and he has a huge following.
And we always wave.
Yeah,
One of these days, I'm just gonna have to stop.
You should. I've talked to the guy in Prattville before. Wonderful guy.
Maybe invite him on.
So all the fire and brimstone guys aren't necessarily bad.
Oh, no, I know. I have a whole story that I had in Auburn that was actually kind of fun. Got to know one of them. Because, people get triggered and get upset. And for me, I was more interested in the actual, where's your mind at?
Right.
How do you actually
sometimes
think of
if you
things?
stop and you listen to what they actually have to say, you're not too far off from believing the same thing. It's just Sometimes I think it's the approach.
Yeah.
Or the way that somebody's coming at it.
Well, and the guy I'm thinking of in Auburn was being provocative on purpose to get attention.
I need more information. Was it you, Joey?
No, it wasn't me. No, he was like calling all the women who walk by on Auburn's campus as whores.
Oh my.
Yeah.
So he was being like aggressive.
Oh yeah. And then after the fact, I saw him another day and he asked where the bathroom is. I'm like, well, it's this way. Let me walk and talk with you. And I'm like, do you do that to just, he said, oh yeah, just to get a rise out of people.
Like,
and then,
poke the bear, man.
you know, most of the folks get mad at me, but a few stick around and actually hear the message. So,
Hey, what works for some works. You know?
so before we close up shop here, let's go to Ray Bowles of Prattville Carpet. Hey, Ray, how you doing?
Well, I was doing good until about 2 seconds ago when I realized I wrote the wrong job on the wrong day.
Damn.
I hate when I do that.
Well,
and I was fussing at everybody yesterday. I said, why do y'all keep writing the wrong job on the wrong day and then have to white it out and mess the book all up? And I did it 3 times in one swift move. Unbelievable.
Sometimes that's just how it works, right?
I know. I need to go home. It's Friday.
Yeah, do as I say, not as I do.
Absolutely. Look, if you need a floor, though, this job's I'm putting down is for Tallahassee, Auburn, and Auburn. So if you can hear us within 100 miles of where we're at, we'll come to you. Just call us, 285-8117. Come out and give you that free measurement. Next thing you know, you got
Somehow he got put back on hold.
Eddie.
Well, you can add, too.
My hands are in my head.
No, that's weird. That I didn't do that.
That happened to me this week when I was talking about Mayor Reed.
Yeah. Y'all just missed the best ad I've ever done on live radio.
No, we got you. 285-8117. We heard about your mistake.
No, you don't understand. I mean, the rest of the story, like Paul Harvey said, you just missed it.
Oh, no.
All right, call us if you need floors. We'll be glad to come out and see you guys.
Thank you, Ray.
Thanks.
Now, did we learn anything today? You just showed up. Yeah.
I mean, I'm just here because Greg begged.
We learned that you're an Adidas fan.
I am.
I've got Adidas kicks on right now.
I have Adidas kicks. I just don't have them on.
Did we learn anything today, Craig?
I learned that there's going to be a sequel, that they're in the works of making a sequel to the Sandra Bullock movie Bird Box, but that's irrelevant to the show. That's just something I learned today.
Now I've learned something.
Bird Box?
Mm-hmm.
Bird Box?
You've seen it, have you not?
No.
What is the Bird Box?
It's in the one where she's blind?
Yeah,
Oh, and there's like a thing.
Those creatures that they can't look at, because if they do, then they make you do the thing. And yeah, they have to walk around blindfolded.
Okay. Well, a sequel coming out. Sandra Bullock in it as well?
Sandra Bullock.
I believe so. It was a brief article read.
Okay.
It's also going to take 3 years for the Bridgerton series to come out. I learned that this morning on Random Facts, or just Greg talking.
Isn't that like the animated bear show?
No, it's the one that I've never seen about the British family, women, household. It's one of those shows that like people are obsessed
Like Downton Abbey. I thought that's the only one I knew of.
That's the only one I knew of, but this is like another. I am getting the stank eye from Greg. Like he thinks.
Yeah, you know it.
I
You know
am
the
not
deal.
cheating
You
on
know
you.
the deal. Yep.
No, I'm not. I came for
you
your
know the
show.
deal.
Golly, Joey,
You
I'm
know the
sorry.
You getting me in trouble?
I think I
Well,
might.
I'm out of here then because it's the weekend. He's giving me the death stare.
I'm
What?
being
Me?
serious.
All her.
I didn't do anything.
It was all her, Captain. I didn't invite her in. She just invited herself.
I just walked in.
You know how lawyers are.
Hey, I know how to get in, so it's never safe.
That's true. Well, appreciate y'all. Happy hour with Greg Budell. He's next.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm John Scott. Now underway in Italy, a summit meeting of the group of